passed away, I saw him. He's like, yo, D, we need to sit down and talk. I'm like, I'm ready. What else? You know what I mean? He was real vocal. You know how he was, Illuminati on the mind, soul level. Like he definitely had a problem with the establishment and was vocal about it. You know, he went at Jay, he went at industry, and I always wondered why he wanted to sit down and talk with me, and he ended up passing away. Never sat well with me.
Didn't know there was a new Mobb Deep though.
Yeah, Havoc clearing the torch.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, you can't do
Yeah.
that.
They still touring too. He takes rapper Noid with him. If you remember Noid, rapper Noid does the Prodigy.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he does the Prodigy verses, and yeah, they've been touring. Some people have a problem with that. I don't. People in my life don't have a problem with him.
And what's going on in this motherfucker right here?
Not a goddamn thing. Like nobody that I feel like supposed to be here is here.
This is room?
I had a lot of work to do and just happened to look up and there wasn't nobody talking on the stage and I'm sitting on it like, oh shit. And I'm trying to stay away from politics, you feel me? So there ain't too much on my algorithm to talk about that they ain't already talked about. So
We can talk about anything in the...
what you said? What you doing right now, YG?
Yeah, I'm about to drop the load off in a minute.
Oh shit, that's good shit.
Load off.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Yes,
It's only 1,900 for 1,000 pounds. That's cool.
My boy. That's DJ.
What's going on, gang?
Now, who won the dunk contest?
Queens ain't no Jamila. What's going on?
Queens is alright.
You never heard anybody in their life say, I was messing with this girl from Queens. You never heard that. You will hear Mount Vernon, you will hear Beacon, you will hear Westchester before you hear that. Ain't nobody going to Queens. Fuck that.
Because Queens is residential.
Queens ain't nobody going to Queens and mess with
Queens
this girl.
got the world's
Hey man, we about to go down to we got a game. We're going to Roosevelt Island. You know, we play football out there, man. Then we're going to go to Harlem Tavern and watch the game. And y'all can't go. Why? Oh, remember that joint I was telling you about, Sun Done? Oh, who was it? Jamila from Queens? Yeah, you never heard nobody say that, bro. Jamila from Queens. None of y'all ever had a girlfriend from Queens unless you lived in Queens. I had a whole apartment in Queens. I signed on a lease. I paid a year rent and spent 0 nights in that bitch. I couldn't get out the lease. I'm staying out here. I couldn't get out the lease. I paid rent for a whole year. I ain't going out there, bro. Oh, God.
Because Queens, those people be in a house, you know?
No, literal houses.
Yeah, they be in houses.
That
That was the suburbs back in the day.
That is definitely.
You know what I hate about Queens? Queens is, you know why I hate Queens? Because you have 33rd Street, 33rd Road, 33rd Ave, and 33rd Place. Like, what?
Yeah,
I hate that shit, bro.
Oh, God.
From Brooklyn, I always get lost in Queens. I mean, like, what you say? Is it 33rd what? 33rd Road. I'm on that shit. You're on the other side on 33rd Place.
Yeah, we at 30th Road, which crosses 31st Street and 21st Avenue.
Yeah, like the houses be like away from 045, but it's like 208-06.
Dash 06.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
This is the dumbest borough of all time.
Supposed to
Hey
make
man, where you
sense.
going, man? Oh, we in Fort Greene. You know, you was in Fort Greene. You know, getting drinks with your boys, and you never saw. Hey man, where you going, man? Oh man, we out in Fort Greene, yo. We about to go to Astoria. Said no one ever.
Can't bring out here.
Literally never been said in the history of the world.
They go to the Coliseum. They go to the...
They
Where
end
you
up there
at,
by
man?
accident.
Man, we over on Troop and Lewis, man. We just got out the. We about to go to the. We about to go to the Nostrand Ave. We're going to the A, so we can get downtown Brooklyn and head up to Queens. No one's ever said that in the history of the world. I don't even like Brooklyn like that, and I would live in Brooklyn 10 times out of 10, bro.
And you know what? Another thing, it's so hard to get to Queens from Brooklyn. Taking the train, you gotta go to Manhattan. You can't just take the train to Queens. It just makes no sense.
If you can drive, it is faster.
You can
All right,
take
the
the G.
You can drive.
Yeah,
We
but
take
the G don't go nowhere. Like, it don't
Well,
go.
that's true. And it doesn't show up. That's why they call it the ghost
Hey,
train.
Scotty, do you know Speedy Romeo?
I don't.
The pizza shop? Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean,
Anyway,
I've never.
you never been? Okay, I was one of those. But anyway, you just like. So let me give you my borough rankings. This is very easy. You could guess. 1 is Manhattan, obviously. 2 is the Bronx. 3 is Brooklyn. 4 is Staten Island. 4 is Queens. I'm done.
Wow.
Staten
Island, please.
Staten Island gave us the woo. Staten Island gave us the woo, and Queens gave us McDowell's. I'm done.
Yeah, we got LL Cool J.
Boys.
Nas, Run DMC, 50.
Ain't nobody.
LL Cool J grandma stay down the street.
Hollis?
Y'all proving my point.
Hollis. Were you ranking girls from the boroughs? Is that what that ranking was?
Oh no, I'd have to change that order around if I was doing the girls. But if I was doing girls, it would probably be
Let's see where Bronx.
if I did girls, it would be Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island. That would be the if I was doing girls. I think the finest girls in the Bronx, but I like you know, y'all know I'm Latino now, so I had to switch to the Bronx.
Up on Dykeman, right? Go to Dykeman.
Yeah, I'm too old for Dykeman now. I ain't gonna. Oh Lord. Hey yo, I had missed my I had missed the double the what do you call it, the alternate street parking one day. I was working. It might have been yelling at y'all, and I forgot to move my car back. So they towed it up to Dykeman. But yo, you have to go down to 40 something and 10th to pay for it. Have anybody gotten this before? You have to go down to the 40s, all on the west side to pay, and then you have to go all the way up to Dykeman to get
That's
your car.
where I
They won't
thought
let you
they
pay at
left
the
it.
spot.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, I thought they leave it there because I heard you got to go to 42nd and West Side Highway or somewhere near there.
Yeah, but then I had to go all the way up to Dykeman to get the car.
Oh,
I had to go to some
that's
obscure.
sad.
Yeah. I had to go to some obscure place in the Bronx where, like, I'm like, where is this at in the Bronx to actually pick up the vehicle? It's crazy. It's like hidden. Like,
Yeah.
you never have been
it
there.
sounds so shady.
It's like
We're
out of
gonna
40
take your
years.
car over here.
It's like a 3 hour.
Yeah.
It's like a 3 hour endeavor because I was Upper West. I got my car towed up to Dykeman, but I had to go down from Upper West to 40 whatever. They go all back up. All told, it was like 3 hours. It was insane.
It's a process. It's definitely, they really make you suffer, and they wanna keep people. They don't want to let people know where their cars are. Like, I had to go through all this to like get the exact location. Where the car
Sometimes
was.
I
It's
think
crazy.
they want to run people out of town, low key.
It felt like that.
Hit them with
It
the
felt like-
fees. Yeah, they hit them with the fees, man.
It felt like that.
You know how to get you.
No, Michael, I had no tickets, man. It was, you know, what is it, 9 to 10:30. So you double park. No, it was like 9 to 10:30. And when I remembered, it was like 12:30. I completely forgot. I was like, I wanted my cars out there. I had no tickets. They just told it $100.
Yeah, if you do the math, because the fine is $65. Some people just take the L on the ticket. Like most of the time, they don't tow you, so they're just like, you know what, 65 is cheaper than a garage, so they'll just.
No. I got mine towed, Scotty, not because I stayed in the spot, but I had moved it for the double park and didn't move it back in after.
Oh wait, you double parked?
Yeah, when you, I moved to the alternate side. You know when you can move it to the other side, so they can. Where I live, you can double park.
Yeah,
And then I was in the middle of the road. Yeah, I was in the middle of the road.
Oh Jesus!
But you're allowed to be in the middle of the road.
You're allowed to. They do that in Brooklyn. They do that in Brooklyn a lot. In my block where I have my car, we just have to sit in the car, and then they're fine. They don't make you move it because the street cleaner doesn't come by anymore.
And them city tow guys are reckless. They don't care how they hook your joint up. Reckless.
Oh yeah, they didn't care. That actually got me. I no longer do. Scotty, I don't know how you do it, man. You're too old to be doing street parking. You need to get a spot, bro.
I'm about to give up. I'm about to take in my mother's and just leave it there.
Once you reach like 39, once you reach your late 30s and you make over $70,000, well, then I guess $85,000, you should be paying for a spot. I'm sorry, bro.
I mean, the spots near
Can't
me.
do that getting up every
No,
morning.
they're.
Shit.
I can't do that.
Yo, you know how much the spots are in Washington Heights?
Let me
The
guess.
spots
Yeah,
in
my
Washington
homegirl.
Heights.
Yeah, my homegirl told me the one by her was like $850 a month.
Like a studio apartment.
How much is
That's
yours?
fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I don't have the spot, but I know up in Washington Heights, I think the cheapest I saw was around $500 or $600.
Yeah,
Downtown, the cheapest.
I don't think you should get a vehicle if you can't afford that parking situation. I think you got to incorporate that to your ecosystem because the other ways it's just a real headache.
I'm about to drive it into the Hudson River, to be honest. It's not worth it.
What, having a car in New York?
It's not worth having a car. I can't do it.
If you have a spot, it is.
Yeah, if you have a spot, but I'm not going to pay for it. I'm too cheap.
Gotta
And I don't use. Yeah, but I don't use it though.
You get a good price if you're doing the monthly. You save a lot of money. The tickets otherwise add up to way over that.
The tickets are cheaper than the cost of the garage. That makes.
You know what? Years ago, there was a spot in Boston. They did some research. A group of people who own condos, the prices weren't going up. But you know how they were making money? From their parking. They would rent out the parking spaces had more value than the freaking actual place where they was living. That is crazy.
All right, you want to check this out? I just I got an email from a colleague. They're selling a spot over in the West Village in this building.
How much?
$500,000.
500,000?
A lifetime spot?
$500,000 for an indoor parking spot. So I emailed her and I said, I'm just curious, how much is it per month to maintain it? Because that's not like what the fee is to keep it in that garage. It's the spot, $500,000. To keep it in there, it's $800 a month. So it's $500,000 for the rights to the spot that you can transfer and sell, and $800 a month to keep that alive. And by the way, she's like, you know what? I think we can get it for $400,000.
Where is it?
It's on Charles Street in the West Village.
Inside
like a. Funny enough, it's inside Steve Witkoff's development on Charles Street.
There you go.
And there you go.
That sounds right. Yeah. There you go.
Imagine, but that's the kind of money, like, you don't fucking care. What's $500,000 for somebody that, has a net worth of, $500 million? They don't
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what that spot
They
is
just
for.
want a spot. There's no
Yeah, but regular people, you can just get a spot. You just get a spot. It won't be there, though. It won't be on Charles Street.
It won't be there.
My nephew used to go to VCS. You know VCS, got it?
No.
Village Community School. Oh, it's over there.
Oh, Village. Wait, you talking about? Young.
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
elementary school. And I had seen that kind of wealth. concept, but I had never really like gotten the lower Manhattan $500,000 spot wealth until like he would go like over his friend's house, and I'm like, oh, go pick him up and we go get ice cream and stuff. Those townhouses down there are insane. Elevators.
Oh, it's sickening. They have their
It's
own
just, you know,
elevator.
it's just like, you know,
Different
$50
world.
million joints. So that's the people who are buying those spots. It's a
Oh
profit.
yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah, they need a spot. Like they'll just like whatever it is, they're gonna pay for it.
Because they didn't take the first floor and turn it into it. Because their first floor doesn't have that. They call it a carriage, not a carriage house, but the ones that have the
Like
ones
the
that are in the
masonette?
building.
Like
Is that what it's called? When the
masonette.
spot's in the house?
Oh, you mean the parking spot or the
Yeah, you can have a garage.
entrance?
Yeah, and you can have a garage as part of the house. Like, they always don't have those.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, sometimes they're called. Well, there may be individual townhouses within a complex, or they're called like masonettes. That's typically what
Masonettes.
They have a lot of those on Strawberry's Row, old school, for the horses back in the day, and they just leave.
District, you know.
That's where my grandma's from, Striving Road.
Yeah, nah, Strivers Road very
District
limited
from
parking
Iran.
over there. Yeah, very limited.
Lot of
Yeah, because you got to go through. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's like once in a lifetime spots up there.
And if you're driving a nice car, you don't want to park on the street because people can't park. Your bumper gets scratched. Somebody driving a bike run by your mirrors. It's just not worth it.
Bro, they do it every day. You can see Bugattis and fucking $200,000 cars on the street. Busta Rhymes' mom lives up there around, I guess it was his mom or his auntie, and he was it's a couple Bugatti, right? Or Maybach, one of those two. And they just parked it right on the street. I was just stunned. I couldn't believe it. They don't care, Kevin. These people, you be bumping the back, boom. They don't care.
Yeah,
Then you come out, you see a new dimple.
Yeah, I would never park.
See a new dimple every day. You come out, new scratch.
Because you have to have two spots, right? Really, because you got one spot for your luxury vehicle, and then you got a spot for your runaround vehicle. Because you're not gonna be taking like your Maserati to the supermarket and running around town with that. Like, well, at least I wouldn't be doing a luxury vehicle. You're not gonna. That's those are not cars to be running errands with, right? So, yeah, you probably need two spots, really.
You know that little plastic thing, a little, it's like a little, it sits in your trunk, but it's like a rubber protector, almost like a
you
condom.
flip it out on the bumper. Yeah,
The little condom for your bumper. Yeah.
Bumper guard.
Yeah, things are thick too. Like,
Yeah,
those joints are very, very thick. I had a malfunction. I told y'all the other day in a car wash where the conveyor belt it sandwiched the vehicle that we were in. Like the vehicle hit the car. We had the car in front of us and then the car in back of us. And the name of the spot, it's in Brooklyn, 1096 Atlantic Avenue. And I'm going through the process of just making a claim. And while we're talking about cars, but has anybody experienced that type of shit? Like where you like the belt malfunctioned? That shit was scary because you're in neutral, right? And you feel the car moving, and you're like, well, do I hit the brake? Do I go? Like, what do you do to prevent further damage? You just kind of panic, and you don't know what to do. And we weren't able to see the damage until like later on when the lights came on, notifying that something was wrong, and it tore up the passenger side, upper undercarriage, whatever you call it, like shredded that shit. So now I'm in the process of helping, and I happened to be recording it at the time because I was like a little kid, and so I was able to establish the exact time that the incident took place. So it was just like a weird experience. This was on Friday.
Well, at least he's safe.
Yeah.
Okay. recording studios, creating the master record, striking the master chord, and drawing the flaming sword. All hail mighty Megatron, the Catholic Bath versus the Muslim cult hordes of the world. Barth's problem is he doesn't have the time to read books anymore, because he's always talking on his cell phone. Okay, this is number 15. 15 is the number of antagonism and of Catholicity. Christianity is at present divided into two churches, the civilizing church and the savage church, the progressive church and the stationary church. One is active, the other is passive. One has mastered the nations and governs them always, since kings fear it. The other is submitted to every despotism. It can be nothing but an instrument of slavery. The active church realizes God for man and alone believes in the divinity of the human word as an interpreter of that of God. What, after all, is the infallibility of the Pope, with the autocracy of intelligence, confirmed by the universal vote of faith? In this case, one might say the Pope ought to be the first genius of his century. Why? It is more proper, in reality, that he should be an average man. His supremacy is only more divine for that because it is in a way more human. Do not events speak louder than rancors and irreligious ignorances? Do not you see Catholic France sustaining with one hand the tottering papacy, and with the other holding the sword to fight at the head of the army of progress? Catholics, Jews, Turks, Protestants already fight under the same banner. The crescent has rallied to the Latin cross, and all together we struggle against the invasion of the barbarians and brutalizing orthodoxy. Yakov! It is forever an accomplished fact. In admitting new dogmas, the chair of St. Peter has solemnly proclaimed itself progressive.
Answer a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you take over the Church of Buttercup? That's why there's a Church of Buttercup too?
What?
Did you occupy the Church of Buttercup?
Did I occupy it? No, I created a new, this is my house that I created.
Oh, really? Because it has the same name of Buttercup's original house. Now she has Church of Buttercup with the number 2 after it, so I was thinking maybe something happened to...
Oh, maybe they kicked her old house or she lost it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But she was in here earlier. She said hello.
She did?
That was all she said, and she left.
Oh, okay. Thanks. What are you doing?
I'm reading a book here, about to suntan, then go for a jog. What are you doing?
Just flipping the channels, Clubhouse. Just going through the channels.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Okay,
Not one for listening to books. Thanks.
Oh, that's okay. Take care, bye. The fatherland of Catholic Christianity is that of the sciences and of the fine arts, and the eternal word of the gospel, living and incarnate in a visible authority, is still the light of the world. On to page 60.
creation of this position. It sounds arbitrary, but I see the historical basis of it. Or it feels arbitrary.
Why can't you be normal like this and chill it?
I got a lot.
Why do you take full advantage
yesterday?
Why do you take full advantage of your white privilege?
I got a lot of accolades yesterday. I don't acknowledge these bullshit terms like white privilege. I think it's a bunch of crap. So try again.
Well, if we had a lie detector, and you were submitted to a lie detection test, I think you'd be found to be not telling the truth.
So you're making up a story now?
Yes, I'm using my creative, critical thinking.
They were paper, not lawyer. Go ahead.
It's very
I'm using my creative.
Say something based in reality, though.
I'm using my creativity, critical thinking about the dynamics of social interactions and how certain people are privileged over others. It's called
more than anybody, though.
So we look at. I just want to finish my point. So when we look at celebrity, when we look at wealth, when we look at intelligence,
I'm not a celebrity.
Elders, we understand that certain people in certain positions are conferred more deference, more lenience,
I think they
more support. Whether or not it's earned is irrelevant. You are questioning the existence of white privilege.
I'm not questioning.
And we know that it's just like, or exists, but not in regards to your racial, makeup. It exists on your economic basis. It exists on your age. It exists on your intellect. It exists on your physical strength, but not on your race. That's what that happened. Go ahead.
I mean, you think the United States... I don't know what that means. What does that mean? I mean, there's just no factual basis for this. So you think the United States... The United States was designed intellectually on top? Even though there were no... Really? So how did they know how it...
Are you there, brother?
Perform intellectually? Huh?
We said, how do you live... Nah, we were talking about the law.
So you want to change the subject now?
No, this is the same thing. Can you stop interrupting, bro? Like, come on, man. You're being so civilized. Can you just calm down for 5 seconds?
I can't help it that you're slow.
Oh, my God.
I'm fast. Don't stop whining and complaining. There are only 2 people in the room.
Are you done? You're still acting like a child.
No, you're acting like a freak. So what the point is this?
This has gotta, like, I gotta hook up with some psychologists.
You need one. I'll recommend one.
Benjamin, could you make me a mod, and then I will just like
situation. But I just wanted to say to McZed, do you agree that white privilege doesn't?
Benjamin left.
I do not think that white privilege does not exist. I do think that there is white privilege.
Okay, thank you. Now, El Normo is so vehemently denying its existence. We know he's being very dishonest. And my question to you, McZed, is how do you live in a world where people are constantly lying? In your profession, I just take it that there's always somebody somewhere doing what fucking El Normo's doing. And I know it has to make you insane. Yeah, so how do you do it, McZed?
And by the way, some people play victim all the time, Concrete. We got to live in that world too. I offer you as an example. A privileged person who nevertheless pleads victim. It's humiliating for a man to do that, Concrete. I mean, come on, be a man.
How do you do it, McZed?
Stop.
No, I mean it seriously.
Me too.
How do you do it, McZed?
How do you live in a a world with liars.
Not only are they there, but they're constantly lying to you. How do you deal with
Growing up.
Sure.
Growing up. Concrete. Be a man. That's what it's called.
I mean, mostly I would kind of agree with him from like an American sensibility that America has rampant liars and con men that steal and defraud the public. And it is even, has always even been part of the reputation of America, was some guy just like manipulating some fresh off the boat person to their own advantage, whether politically or just for robbery. It's been an old trope of the experience in America. Your question is like, how do you live? I'm saying Norm is somewhat mostly right in saying it's a grow up kind of a thing. We live in a world with liars, and we train ourselves to be cynical and skeptical about who and what we trust.
So when you say grow up, you're just talking about how I react to it, or how
No, I'm saying we all take personal responsibility of weighing our own confidence in what other people present as true.
Well, that's not what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at is, how do you stay calm in the face of somebody who is lying to you? And how do you navigate those interactions where it's just a bombardment of lies? What do you do? I'm asking. I'm asking, like, in a
Okay.
you know,
If I had a lie,
methodological way.
I'll tell you this: if I spotted somebody lying about me while I was present,
No, not about you. Just lying to you. Just continuously
lying about something else to me, I would still feel pretty comfortable if I spotted the lie, right? I've got the proof in my head. I can just wait until he's done speaking and then dismantle everything he's saying and reduce his credibility to rubble. So, like, I'm sitting pretty.
What about in this type of
I'm not
venue?
usually like looking to dismantle someone's position and point out their lies or their overstatements. But like, if I had that, yeah, I could immediately, if I wanted to, just disavow everything he just said.
Yeah, but the thing.
Just prove it immediately.
Yeah, but the thing is, we're talking about something abstract like white privilege, and he obviously doesn't care about his reputation because he wouldn't offer his blatant lie.
No,
right?
I don't care
And so, in
About
this
whether or not white
circumstance,
privilege exists.
yeah, and he's being like unnecessarily belligerent, and so it's not only is he lying, but he's like,
I think you're
being a child about it. So just methodologically,
But like, okay, Concrete, you talk with atheists, right?
yes.
Right. And you know that within the objectionist, defensive posture of refusing to understand what you're trying to get at or what you want them to believe and end up doing, they can choose a lot of things. They can question the epistemology. They can question what kinds of things count as evidence. If he wants to object to your claim that white privilege exists and say, no, I don't think so, it doesn't, give him the space to unpack what he's trying to say. Because obviously, he could be talking about epistemologically. He could say, he could talk about ontology. The ontology of white privilege does not ground in existence, right, Concrete?
Concrete, you know what those words mean? Apology.
What I'm saying is, let him talk. If he wants to say it doesn't exist,
I'll answer his question.
General, please. Go ahead, Concrete.
Yeah, ontology is the thing in its existence, in its essence, in its qualities, and then epistemology is how do you know? So that's a good question. And Big Zed, one second. And Big Zed, one second, brother. I don't need to give an exhaustive. I don't need to give an exhaustive.
Definition.
I don't need to give an exhaustive.
Let's let Concrete go, please.
I don't need to give an exhaustive Stanford encyclopedia of philosophy.
Just go. Norm, please let
Oh
Concrete
my
go.
gosh, I'm being hurried now while I'm getting interrupted.
Concrete go. Concrete go. Okay. All right then. Very well.
I don't need to get.
Congrats,
This does not affect it.
Well, maybe we didn't want to
Effective to
mention
what
it.
age, Jason? Maybe
It's
not
not
just
It's not offensive to persuading him or discouraging him, right, from his point of view. He's
You
just
know
like,
what I wanted to do? I wanted to intimidate him. I'm happy that I did it.
Okay, Jason. Do you think that white privilege exists, Jason?
I don't know.
Okay,
What
that's
is
a fair
maybe
answer.
this?
You can say you don't know. Honey Badger, he'll give us a mean, honest response. Do you think white privilege exists, honey?
Yes.
Thank you. Nice and simple. I think so too.
I do not.
Okay, so why do you think it doesn't exist? Since you're the atheist of white privilege in the room.
Well, for one thing, the question of proving that something doesn't exist is a bit of a fool's errand. So, the burden is always...
Look at this. He's going to agnosticism so fast he abandons his position.
No, bro.
You
I'm not
atheist.
imagining it. No, you're not good at this.
Guys, you're out of control.
I'm
Guys, you're out of control now. Let your normal go.
I'm not abandoning... By the way, I don't mind admitting that thoughts, so don't do it too much. I'm not abandoning my position. I'm stating a principle of discourse that proving a negative is not a thing. When one makes a claim, one must prove the positive claim, i.e. that XYZ exists, true or false. So, again, if you give an example, we could examine it and see if it's valid. That said,
Okay.
since you, but I will add an addendum that I don't think whiteness exists. I think whiteness is an obsolete concept, and it's a broad generalization, a catch-all term that somehow purports to include everybody from Norwegians to Greeks, from Portuguese to Swedes, and these are widely varying people and widely varying cultures. So to somehow try to paint them with this massive brush of white privilege is absurd. Now, I think it did exist historically, and you'll find again,
$100,000%.
Come on.
Okay, it's okay. I don't mind. So, but one must point out that Jim Crow, which expressed itself as white privilege, or I would call Jim Crow apartheid, by the way, and I was alive during it, and I'm the first one that I know to call it what it was, which was apartheid, again, while we were alive. I think there is also an important element of what they call majoritarian privilege. So in Japan, so the 2 points are A, historically yes, but the category of white is broad and I think obsolete. And point 2, is it white or is it majoritarian? Or maybe that distinction is irrelevant. I'll leave it there.
Okay. I do like that you for defining what we might mean by whiteness, which is a vague term that deserves definition in describing whether or not white privilege exists.
Just before intruding, just give me a second. Hey, Danny, I want to talk to you about Fiona's behavior. I don't know why she moved.
Could you mute this, Jason?
He doesn't know he's unmuted.
Just give me a second. I want to talk to Danny. Danny's my friend.
Okay, Danny's not here. All right.
Okay, so in terms of the definitions, you're going to the legal reality
He's in the Matrix there. Not Smiler. Dr. Schomburg, welcome. This is the Muslims versus the Megatron of Catholicism. Bono Shalom. You're also in my new house, Issa Watermelon. Page 60. Silence then to the Pharisees of the new synagogue. Silence to the hateful traditions of the schools, to the arrogance of Presbyterianism, to the absurdity of Jainism, and to all those shameful and superstitious interpretations of the eternal dogma, so justly stigmatized by the pitiless genius of Voltaire. Voltaire and Napoleon died Catholics. And do you know what the Catholicism of the future must be? It will be the dogma of the gospel, tried like gold by the critical acid of Voltaire, and realized in the kingdom of the world by the genius of the Christian Napoleon. Those who will not march will be dragged or trampled by events. Immense calamities may again hang over the world. The armies of the apocalypse may perhaps one day unchain the four scourges. The sanctuary will be cleansed. Rigid and holy poverty will send forth its apostles to uphold what staggers, lift up again what is broken, and anoint all wounds with sacred oils. Those two blood-hungered monsters, despotism and anarchy, will tear themselves to pieces and annihilate each other. After having mutually sustained each other for a little while by the embrace of their struggle itself. And the government of the future will be that whose model is shown to us in nature by the family, and in the religious world by the pastoral hierarchy. The elect shall reign with Jesus Christ during 1,000 years, say the apostolic traditions. That is to say that during a series of centuries, the intelligence and love of chosen men devoted to the burden of power will administer the interests of the wealth and the wealth of the universal family. And that day, according to the promise of the gospel, there will be no more than one flock and one shepherd. Some note, I do not say that Voltaire died a good Catholic, but he died a Catholic. Christian authors unanimously hold that, like all heretics, he repented on his deathbed and died blaspheming. What on earth does it matter? Life, not death, reveals the soul. The number 16. 16 is the number of the temple. Let us say that the temple of the future will be when the spirit of intelligence and love shall have revealed itself. The whole Trinity will manifest itself in its truth and in its glory. Humanity become a queen, and as it were risen from the dead. We have the grace of childhood in its poesy, the vigor of youth in its reason, and the wisdom of ripe age in its works. All those forms which the divine thought has successively clothed will be born again, mortal and perfect. All those features which the art of successive nations has sketched will unite themselves and form the complete image of God. Jerusalem will rebuild the temple of Jehovah on the model prophesied by Ezekiel. Does somebody smell something? Can everybody please check their shoes? I smell like somebody's maybe stepped in some shat outside. Can everybody check their shoes, please? I smell something here. I think he lives in Brooklyn or New York. A particular smell. Oof, nasty. Check your shoes, everyone. Let's continue on. Oof. Jerusalem, oh my God, the scent is overwhelming. Jerusalem will rebuild the temple of Jehovah on the model prophesied by Ezekiel and the Christ. New and eternal Solomon will chant beneath roofs of cedar and of cypress the epithalamium of his marriage with holy liberty, the holy bride of the Song of Songs. But Jehovah will have laid aside his thunderbolts to bless with both hands the bridegroom and the bride. He will appear smiling between them, take pleasure in being called Father. However, the poetry of the East, in its magical souvenirs, will call him still Brahma, Jupiter. India would teach our enchanted climates the marvelous fables of Vishnu. And we shall place upon this the bleeding forehead of our well-beloved Christ, the triple crown of pearls and the mystical Trimurti. From that time, Venus, purified under the veil of Mary, will no more weep for her Adonis. The bridegroom is risen to die no more, and the infernal war has found death in its momentary victory. Lift yourselves up again, O temples of Delphi and of Ephesius. Light, the god of light and of art, has become the god of the world, and the word of God is indeed willing to be called Apollo. Diana will no more reign widowed in the lonely fields of night. Her sylvan crescent is now beneath the feet of the bride. But Diana is not conquered by Venus. Her Endymion has wakened, and virginity is about to take pride in motherhood. Quit the tomb, O Phidias, and rejoice in the destruction of thy first Jupiter. It is now that thou wilt conceive a god. O Rome, let thy temples rise again, and side by side with thy basilicas be once more the queen of the world and the pantheon of the nations. Let Virgil be crowned on the Capitol by the hand of St. Peter, and let Olympus and Carmel unite the divinities beneath the brush of Raphael. Transfigure yourselves, ancient cathedrals of our fathers, dart forth into the clouds your chiseled and living arrows, and let stone record in animated figures the dark legends of the North, brightened by the marvelous gilded epilogues of the Quran. Let the East adore Jesus Christ in its mosques, and on the minarets of a new Sata Soya. Let the cross rise in the midst of the crescent. Let Muhammad set woman free, to give to the true believer the Horus, or the Huris, which she has so long dreamt of. And let the martyrs of the Savior teach chaste caresses to the beautiful angels of Muhammad. The whole earth reclothed with the rich adornments which all the arts have embroidered for her will no longer be anything but a magnificent temple of which man shall be the eternal priest. All that was true, all that was beautiful, all that was sweet in the past centuries, will live once more, glorified in this transfiguration of the world, and the beautiful form will remain inseparable from the true idea, is the body will one day be inseparable from the soul. When the soul come to its own power, it will have made itself a body in its own image. It will be the kingdom of heaven upon earth. And the body body will be the temple of the soul. As the regenerated universe will be the body of God. And bodies and souls and form and thought in the whole universe will be the light, the sword, the word, and the permanent and visible revelation of God. Amen. So be it. Subnote, it says, it is amusing to remark that this very symbol is characteristic of the Greek church. That's the crescent, which he has been attacking. Levi should have visited Moscow. Okay, number 17, the equinox. 16 is the number of the star. It is that of intelligence and love. Warrior and bold intelligence, accomplice of divine Prometheus, eldest daughter of Lucifer. Hail unto thee in thine audacity. Thou didst wish to know, and in order to possess, thou didst brave all the thunders, and affronted every abyss. Intelligence, O thou, whom we poor sinners have loved to madness, to scandal, to reprobation, divine right of man, essence and soul of liberty, hail unto thee, for they have pursued thee, and trampling beneath their feet for thee the dearest dreams of their imagination, the best beloved phantoms of their heart. For thee they have been repulsed and proscribed. For thee they have suffered prison, nakedness, hunger, thirst, the desertion of those whom they loved, and the dark temptations of despair. Thou wast the right, and they have conquered thee. Now they can weep and believe. Now they can submit themselves and pray. Repentant Cain would have been greater than Abel. It is lawful, pride, satisfying, which has the right to humiliate itself. I believe because I know why and how one must believe. I believe because I love and fear no more. Love, love, sublime Redeemer and sublime Restorer, thou who makest so much happiness with so many tortures, thou who did sacrifice blood and tears, thou who art virtue itself, and the reward of virtue, force of resignation, belief of obedience, joy of sorrow, life and death. Hail Megatron! Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Muslims versus Megatron.
Correct. Correct. I like this title of this room. That's why I came in here. I really felt like I got something back by kicking 65 Muslims today out of a room, just a short time too, about 4 hours. Coming back in the room, which is fucking amazing. They keep flagging my room.
I know. You know, it's really annoying. I have YouTube accounts that keep going down for community guideline strikes for hate speech, and I'm sitting there playing music, just live streaming Clubhouse in the background. When I stop playing music, somebody says something ridiculous, and it's like, you know, you can't even live stream. Clubhouse is hard to live stream because there's just so much profanity, vulgarity, and extreme concept, and, you know, it's a cesspool. I call it the garbage dump, really. And I'm like a garbage man who goes around collecting garbage daily. And the greatest thing about my garbage business is I don't have to make the trip to the dump. That's the coolest thing. It's like a magic garbage truck, you know, because the hard part about doing the garbage picking is you can only pick up so much garbage, but then you got to spend hours driving far away from the city center to just dump all the garbage. And then people on Clown House go to the garbage dump to pick up my garbage and bring it back to Clubhouse. It's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I mean, who would have ever thought that you could spend so much time collecting garbage only to have the garbage be brought back to where you picked it up? It's a garbage mystery. Garbage in, garbage out. But I say, you gotta pick and choose, the garbage you want to hang on to, I guess. Because you can't destroy it. It's just like infinite amounts of garbage. And,
Three gods!
Allahu Akbar. It's so crazy to think that, after we know how Muslim men do LGBTQ, like in Afghanistan with Bachibazi, to think that hadith, about Aisha being a boy is controversial. Let alone, they're not even concerned about the fact that he's raping a child. They're more concerned that it's a boy and not a girl, because that would make the prophet gay. But how are they not even concerned that he's raping a child? I don't know.
That's, I'm trying to give them an out by saying, well, maybe it was a boy, and this is what like men did when they got older. Back then, this was like royalty. I'm trying to bring them down this thing that like the Jews did during the Second Temple period. I'm trying to go, oh well, he wanted to be more Jewish possibly, or more like Paul or some shit, right? And I'm trying to fucking let them to just they won't even budge on it. They'd rather her still be a girl than be a boy.
Yeah,
It's fucking disturbing.
No, but that because she was a boy.
Thank you for admitting that. You know how long it took me to someone to admit that? Thank you so much. I've been waiting for God knows how long for someone to admit that.
Oh,
I appreciate that.
Excuse me.
No, I appreciate that. Because I still think she's a boy.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe in the papacy?
Papacy?
The Pope. Are you a follower of the Pope in the Catholic Church? You are.
Papacy. The papacy.
Papacy. Are you?
Papacy, yeah.
Okay, so you believe in the infallibility of the Pope, correct?
No.
So then describe to me, how would you describe the Pope?
Man in office.
So he's just the president. He's the president of the Christian faith, or Christendom in a way, for the West. But then he's got all these offshoots that he's got to deal with. Like, did you know there's a Pope in Spain? Have you seen that Pope and his videos and the magnificence of that church?
Yes.
Unbelievable. I see it on Facebook all the time.
The Spanish Pope, Alexander.
Anyways, my point is, I was going to ask this earlier in your room, but you kicked me to the goo. And my question is, even if, we debate, a million different conversations, and, you've got an infinite time to do all the debates, I've heard it said that the now is always the point. And so, in that way, the material world, or, the subjective world, is ultimately always the point of the subjective. So how do you rationalize what you do, knowing that, in my opinion, obviously, I'm framing it this way, that the now is ultimately always back to the point. I like your style and your shtick, and I think the God conversation is the way to go, but you're always left with the same outcome. So how do you concur with that in a way or not? Hello?
think you're right. I think that I am a glutton for punishment. And I've tried my best to make peace with the Muslims, but I think my arguments are so potent, they're so strong, that it's very difficult for them to respond without the whataboutism. And you know how I roll. Once they do the whataboutism, that's it. It's a wrap. They're saying, yeah, but what about you? You get what I mean? So they're just conceding, And I don't want them to concede. I want them to fucking respond and shut me down. But I think the arguments are so strong. They're so potent. It's like, you know what it is? It's like when you break up the weed and you just keep the keef. Those are my arguments. My argument are on keef, pure keef level. If we're gonna compare it to like weed. And I'm told I have to lose arguments in order to speak to them.
Why do you think the Ottoman Empire banned, bells, in the Muslim faith? Like, why would they ban bells? Because I see Islam as being like a way to essentially negate dopamine in order to maintain the concept of Allah. And so, by covering women, by not having bells, by doing the opposite of what Christians do, they, create their simulation or their in-group. So I'm just saying that, the bell is mystical. And I mean, they may say you can't ring bells, but by doing that, that's like putting a prohibition on it. And thus it makes it even more intoxicating and exciting to, revolt against the government and ring a bell. Hello? And many people ask me regularly, what's the truth of the earth? And do you know about death and birth? And I just say that the truth of the earth and the truth about death and birth really is always the N-O-W. And backwards that spells one. Not O-N-E, but W-O-N. And that's the truth of the earth and about birth and death. And silence is ultimately what you're left with at the end of the day. Hello? I want to thank you, Barf.
I love you, babe. Love you, babe. Hurry up back.
He loves his babe.
That's love.
That's love.
I love you, babe.
Okay, we were doing what's called a book reading here. I call it meditation. But this is the number 17. Oh, this is an interesting question for you. Repentant Cain would
my prescription was only $8 and it went down. $8.84. Wow. Look at that. That's a whole lot of. I don't know. It must have done something. Yeah. Right. Sorry about that.
Repentant Cain would have been greater than Abel. It is lawful pride satisfied which has the right to humiliate itself. I believe because I know why and how one must believe. I believe because I love and fear no more. Love, love, sublime Redeemer and sublime Restorer, thou who makest so much happiness, with so many tortures, thou who didst sacrifice blood and tears, thou who art virtue itself, and the reward of virtue, force of resignation, belief of obedience, joy of sorrow, life of death. Hail, salutation, and glory to thee. If intelligence is a lamp, thou art its flame. If it is right, thou art duty. If it is nobility, thou art happiness. Love, full of pride and modesty in thy mysteries. Divine love, hidden love, love insensate and sublime. Titan, takest heaven in both hands and force it into earth. Final and ineffable secret of Christian widowhood. Love eternal, love infinite, ideal which would suffice to create worlds. Love, love, blessing and glory to thee. Glory to the intelligences which veil themselves that they may not offend weak eyes. Glory to right which transforms itself wholly into duty and which becomes devotion. To the widowed souls who love, burn up without being loved. To those who suffer and make none other suffer. To those who forgive the ungrateful. To those who love their enemies. Oh, happy evermore. Happy beyond all are those who embrace poverty, who have drained themselves to the dregs to give. Happy are the souls who forever make thy peace. Happy the pure and the simple hearts that never think themselves better than others. Humanity, my mother. Humanity, daughter and mother of God. Humanity, conceived without sin. Universal Church. Mary, happy is he who has dared all to know thee and to understand thee, and who is ready to suffer all once more in order to serve thee and to love thee.
Yo, Bill Nargis, you want to know my type? Danny's my type. 100%.
I saw that man.
Oh my god. So my type. I'm not even joking.
I love her so much.
Yeah, she's fucking great.
Danny, welcome to the Muslims versus the Megatron of Catholicism. Megatron is saying you remind me of Mary, that sweet, blissful, beautiful, happy innocence.
That's Metatron with a T.
No. We're talking to Megatron and another Megatron.
Oh, are you? Okay. Oh, okay. It's like the cartoon. I'm sorry.
Metatron is the angel.
Yeah. Sorry. That's what it looked like at first. Because you're doing Muslim, and then you had Megatron. Then you need Metatron, not Megatron.
No. We got Megatron, the Barth of Catholicism, in another room leading a fight. He has already excommunicated 60 heretics.
I don't fully understand, but okay. Archangel Metatron.
Okay, I just removed Todd from the room because there's just too much background noise there to deal with right now. We're trying to have a soft, quiet space.
So soft.
is here. By the way, I also have Issa the Cunt show going on in the Issa Watermelon House. Issa okay to do that. Some people get upset. They're like, why do you have so many phones? Why do you have so many Clubhouse accounts? And I just say, why do you have so many questions? You know, like, why do I make you so angry? What is it about me? Is it me personally? Like, is it my life? Is it my communication style? Is it my aesthetic? Is it my smell?
It's your ability to come in and hypnotize people, and a lot of people get very jealous because they can't do what they don't. Even if they study, they're not talented enough to know how to do it. And they get very upset. They get very jealous, and they get very
Jealousy.
Yeah.
Anger. Envy.
Is that deep?
What's the opposite of envy? Love?
Lust.
The opposite of no. The opposite of love is apathy. It's not hate. The opposite of envy.
No, envy is lust.
Envy is not lust. Envy is
The opposite.
The opposite of envy is not lust. Envy is
Yes,
like
it is.
no.
That's
If you
ChatGPT.
fulfill it, the opposite could be fulfilled, you know?
Fulfillment, exactly.
We got the
Yeah,
gluten
that's
free
lust.
How is fulfillment love?
No. You said
Lust is
the
a negation.
opposite.
Yeah, the opposite.
The opposite of envy.
Of envy.
It's acceptance.
I said love. I said love because envy is like covetousness.
Yes, actually, you're right. That could,
So
could be love.
if you want to love your neighbor, you would not practice envy. You would practice love. I mean, anyways, you get the
But love
anyways.
is acceptance.
They see
You,
generosity.
you need to look this up because I
What did they
think I
say?
know it right.
Generosity.
The problem with the word apathy is, if you break it down, it's apathy, a path. So people use apathy always in a negative light, and I would challenge that assumption. Hello?
Hello? I think goodwill would be perhaps the most apt antonym for envy.
We got Rubenchik here. Rubenchik loves to open rooms and just sit there, cool as a clam, letting people just like destroy themselves with their narrative. That's the Rubenchik
Oh,
shtick.
Ruben. Yeah, he's so cool. He's so kind.
See, if you let people talk enough, ultimately they become the hypocrite. I've realized that. Like at a bar, I'm sitting there talking, and after so many years of talking, I said to this, F word. I was like, you know what? I was like, eventually, you just become a hypocrite if you just keep talking long enough. And he was like, exactly, bitch. I was like, yep, hypocrite. So, this is the Church of Butter and Cup. Your life is what you put inside your cup. I hope it's sweet like butter. Not many people view fat as being sweet, but when I drink whole milk, it's sweet to me. Delicious. Do you live your life with envy? Do you wish you were as good as the Megatron, as good as Dr. Good himself? Are you jealous that his communication style is efficacious and his knowledge of epistemology and ontology is supreme? Just can't beat him, so might as well join him. That's what I say. Oh, we have a surprise guest star. Welcome to the show, the world famous Abby Eva, destroyer of worlds. Hello, Abby. I think Abby has waged a very successful military campaign against the far right. Ultra-direction.
Why would you say that? She deserves a moderation.
You destroyed the world for these people. And look, Brother Keegan is here. He was so upset with me. You were lying about Brad. You never called the police. Well, brother, don't you know sometimes just putting it out there is good enough? And that's really what matters.
No, do not turn. You're shifting. You're turning the tables. You're creating revisionist history. You said to everyone you lied. You're not a man of honor.
I will not be insulted on my stage. I'm no liar, sir. I've told you completely what I've done. Just put it out there on X. We will play these childish games with Keegan. Get back to work. Get back to the auto shop. So, Abby, you are in the Church of Bata. And Cop. I hope your cup is always sweet, overflowing with joy.
And you were right. The opposite of it's not lust. I was wrong. It's charity.
Charity.
Generosity, like Danny said.
Charity, yeah. Charity, generosity, yeah. Stuff like
Goodwill, admiration.
Charity, the opposite. Yeah. I'm thinking lust because I saw Danny came into the room, and that's all I could think of was the word lust, and I couldn't get my just.
Danny is such a crush on you.
Whatever. I'm over it.
She's just real. That's why I like real people. Abby too.
Alright, we're going to continue this blessed sacred meditation. This is page 66. The Gospel says that at the death of the Savior, the veil of the temple was rent. Because that death manifested the triumph of devotion, the miracle of charity, the power of God in man, divine humanity, the human and human divinity, the highest and most sublime of arcana, the last word of all initiations. But the Savior knew that at first man would not understand him, and he said, you will not be able to bear at present the full light of my doctrine. But when the Spirit of truth shall manifest himself, he will teach you all truth. And he will cause you to understand the sense of what I have said unto you. Now the Spirit of truth is the spirit of science and intelligence, the spirit of force and of counsel. It is that spirit which solemnly manifested itself in the Roman Church when it declared in the 4 articles of its decree on the 12th of December, 1845. First degree, that if faith is superior to reason, reason ought to endorse the inspirations of faith. Second degree, that faith and science have each their separate domain, and that the one should not usurp the functions. Third degree, that it is proper for faith and grace not to weaken, but on the contrary to strengthen and develop reason. Fourth degree, that the concourse of reason, which examines not the decisions of faith, but the natural and rational bases of the authority which decides them, far from injuring faith, can only be useful to it. In other words, that a faith perfectly reasonable in its principles should not fear, but should, on the contrary, desire the sincere examination of reason. Such a decree is the accomplishment of a complete religious revolution. It is the inauguration of the reign of the Holy Ghost upon the earth. What is the Holy Ghost, Barth? This is a mystery to me.
You want an Old Testament or New Testament explained?
Let's go with the new.
The Holy Spirit is the love that spirates from the Father and the Son. So once the Father and the Son, the two knowers, know it, and they reveal it through the Spirit. So in Genesis 1:1 and 1:2, he's going to say, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Right? That's the Word. The Word is creating. The earth was formless and deep as the Spirit of God hovered over. I think he hovers over the deep or something like that. I think I botched that one. But yeah, so you see Father, Son, and Holy Spirit right in the beginning there. That's the reason why John, the prologue for John 1:1 is in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. Because the Word is God. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. In other words, the Logos, the eternal God, became a man and lived like a man among us. He was identified, he was numbered with the transgressors. Yo, that's how I know sometimes, bro. Not for nothing, Smiler. But I think your boy, honestly, man, and I love that he does it too. I think he listens into our conversations sometimes to get some input, to get some influence. Like, yo, we had a good ass run for like a good month. And when he was debating the Jake the Italian metaphysician, the Italian Muslim metaphysician, and he brought up that 2946, and I've heard him say he was identified, numbered with the transgressors. That I'm the only nigga out here saying shit like that. He said it. I'm thinking to myself like, yo, he must have heard me, bro. He must have heard me. Because that's some straight up fucking, what's that guy's name again? The one that I gave you? Billy Graham? Oh, shit. I get on my Billy Graham, it's a wrap. Who do they say that I am? He said, no, Peter. I don't care what they say. What do you say? Who do you say that I am? God, Christ, the Son of the living God. Peter, you did well, Peter. But those weren't your thoughts. Those thoughts came from God. It was God who revealed it to you. I love the Billy Graham, man. You got to listen to that. Listen, you have, Mr. Universe, have to listen to Who is Jesus? By Billy Graham in 1973. Is it 73 or 77? I forget. It might be 77. Hey, guys, enough. You're going to hurt each other. And stop jumping on the couch with the iPad on the thing. Put it over there, the iPad. Hello? Hello?
I heard you say something interesting once. I think I heard you say that Jesus freed the Gnostics. Or Jesus frees the Gnostics.
I never said that. Did I say that? I think I heard you say that.
I thought I heard you say it one time. Oh, no, you plugged the link. You put a link up, and it was some Gnostic book or something, but it said something in there that Jesus even frees the Gnostics, and I was like, does that mean because like basically doing duality versus non-duality? So like if you're always in the non-dual state, basically you're like addicted to being in union with God, and that can ultimately, it has to be a fine balance, you know. Too much is too much, because then you neglect the objective material world, and your garbage doesn't get taken out and your dishes don't get washed. Hello?
Jesus was the duality in narcissism. He makes the model complex in order for our realization for material.
The only religion that has ever been truly dualistic with and has kept to it is Zoroastrianism.
Yes.
It's the truest dualistic when it talks about evil. But you see, when I asked Mr. Mikael, aka Cynic, aka Lumi, I asked him once, and it made him feel really uncomfortable. I said, "What is the distinction? What are the commonalities of the devil and Christ?" And he kind of shelled up. He kind of thought I was trolling. And I'm like, no. I'm like, do you not realize that this is the book of Job? This is Zechariah chapter 3. This is like, there's always going to, it's because the Christian religion is not dualistic. It's not about good and evil.
No, it's not.
It's not. And when you compare, right, when we have the devil, Satan, or should I say Lucifer, right, and Jesus, right, he's saying to you almost like, just as good as Jesus is, he is that representation also of the bad. And you know what? Some people are just not comfortable with that. And that's the reason why you ever look in the Vatican and they have that big, huge thing, the black thing that looks like, you know, like they're in, it looks like they're in hell or something. That big, huge black. You'll see it. It's in the Vatican. It's in one of their newest cathedrals or whatever. And it looks like this hell like going on in the background, right? Because that's what it represents. You know, he is the light of justice, but he's also, you know, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the one that he knows no one's name, the fire in his eyes, the tongue sharp as a sword. He's dripped in blood. Like, he's not playing.
You know, Rasa and Ahriman, where like one is a supreme being, right? That which is truth, light, versus Ahriman, which is in who all evil is sourced, right? And this duality solves the problem of evil, basically. One can posit evil to Ahriman and posit all goodness to the Huru Master. It's monotheistic and yet dualistic in its model. It's brilliant.
There's a saying in Zen that I came from brilliance and I return to brilliance. So, you know, we hope that every man and every woman can come to the realization that they themselves are a star. And Clown House is the microcosm of the macrocosm, because we are all on a stage and we are all stars. And when you understand, you know, the opportunity cost of being here versus being outside in the sun, taking a jog through the park, looking at the little squirrels saying, "Hey, give me a peanut." Or you see a little bunny rabbit like Abby run around, shocked when you you say, where's the coupons? And she goes, I don't have any coupons. You know? So, the purpose of the Church of Buttercup is not Reese's. It's not chocolate. And it's not even peanut butter. It's you who are the cup. And what you put inside of yourself every day is very important. Because everyone likes to cook in butter. Oh, Nora Bandura is here. Maybe we can fill up Nora with some more light today, instead of all the darkness of the far right and her lover, Nora and Diego. Little sexual conflict there still. Never really quite had sex. I never had sex with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. Well, everybody, you are now witnessing the most exciting room on Clown House. The Muslims versus the Megatron of Catholicism. Megatron, if you had one message to all the Muslims on the whole planet Earth right now, what would you want all the Muslim brains across the entire planet to know? Almighty Megatron.
Jesus will never be a Muslim.
This will never be a Muslim.
Lord Jesus.
Lord Jesus, King, Son of the Father, never, ever, ever be a Muslim. But you got respect for Islam, right? Because it is a world religion, and that really is a monolith. And there are three major monoliths.
I do not respect any religion who desecrates Christ. So they're going to hell. I really want to tell them they're going to fucking hell for desecrating Christ and for building on the Temple Mount. That's really what I want to tell. That's really what I say to them on a daily basis. Like, your Umar, the Jew, cursed you guys. He cursed your religion. Because if he knew the scriptures, he would have read 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 through 12, and it's exactly who the man of perdition is. He sets himself up in the temple of God, saying that he is God. That's exactly what Islam did with Muhammad. They're saying that his words in that book is God. And then they built on the Temple Mount. So I wish them all the best. I really do. I wish them all the best, but all of the shortcomings, all of the things that are happening to them are going to continue to happen to them. Because as long as they think that Jesus is going to come back, to break the cross, kill the pig, pass the trees where the Jews are hiding, as long as they keep this in their doctrine, they're going to hell.
So thanks for that, Almighty Megatron. We do have some Muslims in the audience, and I was looking at what Nora Bandura has in her profile, and it's very beautiful and wonderful, and I would just say that I find that to be, most expeditious or expedited, The thing is, you don't want to wait in a long line with no coupons. If you have to wait in a long line, well, you better have some coupons. And so, in the Church of Buttercup, we're very much focused on what we listen to and what we say. And if we have to talk slowly, because we don't want to rush, that's okay. The truth of the earth, from your birth to your death. With all the knowledge of the earth, and your birth, and your death, truth of the earth, with no good book, and if you don't even go to the gym, and you don't stretch, well, you're going to have lower back pain. And that's a truth that you can't get out from under without having to do the work of stretching. And breathing. Not many Christians or Muslims are going to do a class on breathing, but they should, because breathing is the truth of the earth. Because if you stop breathing, there will be no more earth, there will be no more birth, just you're deaf. And when you're deaf, it doesn't just mean you can't hear nothing. It really means that you can't ever hear anything ever again because you've experienced death. And that's the truth of the earth. Don't die. You know, now you are alive. But you want to stay alive for as long as you can to experience the truth of the earth all the time, because it's beautiful and it's lovely and it's intelligent. It's not Smiler. Welcome to the Muslims versus the Megatron of Catholicism. What is your truth, Dr. Schomburg?
Is truth.
It's your truth. Half this room is just my other cell phones, but it gives the illusion that there's more people here than the truth is, but it's just me multiplied multiple times over. And I just want to point out the truth that Isa is a cunt in another room, but the Lord here is not Isa, but it gives the feeling that Isa is here. And the funny thing about Isa is she has conditioned so many people on this app with this stupid PTR. But the truth is, doesn't matter how many times you condition someone, if you are a cunt, it won't really matter. You can condition your other people with cunt philosophy. But the truth of the earth is that a cunt is a cunt. And you gotta do your cunt. And you gotta clean it. And I think a lot of cunts out there, they're always talking about this pH level. And we all know, what is the perfect pH number? Is it 4? Anyways. It's neither here nor there. Oh, 7, that's right. 7. And if you're a 4, are you a base or are you an acid?
Acid.
You're an acid. So, I guess the point is, you don't want an acidic cunt, and you don't want a basic cunt. You want to maintain that perfect 7. Now, I'm willing to go out with a 7, but if I can get to an 8 or a 9, oh, oy vey, or a 10. 10 is truly the most perfect number because it represents the universe. And that universe can be represented by the Holy Kabbalah. Not many Christians or Jews or Catholics or Muslims will ever admit that the philosophy of the Kabbalah is actually the totality of all the religions mixed into one bubblegum you can put in your mouth and chew like a curd. Now, if you want to become like a cow and say moo, that's okay, because moo is a 3-letter word and mo is a 2-letter word. And Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon that magical man. Welcome, Mr. Woofy. The Muslims versus the Megatron, the final battle. Megatron, what's the second message you'd like all the Muslims on planet Earth to know, other than that Jesus will never become a Muslim?
Jesus will never be a Muslim. No matter how many fake profiles are in this room.
You've already said that. We don't want to be redundant.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was just
revelation.
repeating what you said. All right, I'm sorry. Let me start over. If any Muslim condemns the what's what's this guy's name again? The conspiracy now with the files. What was his name again? I'm having a brain fart. Everyone's talking about it. The state. What is it called again?
What are you asking?
Who's the guy that has this the prostitution ring? What's his name?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Epstein. So if any Muslim condemns Epstein, they are literally condemning their prophet. That's it.
You did it for us, Megatron.
If they think the Epstein thing is bad, then then they're condemning Muhammad. Because how could they think that what he did was bad, but then are okay defending that their morality is for all time, but then in the same sentence contradict themselves and say, well, that was then and this is now. Well, that doesn't work. Then the morality, so then it does change. No, it doesn't change. And you're like, wait. Okay, so will you marry off your daughter when she's 9? Like, what kind? Think of the conversation. Think of the conversation we're having for Muslims.
This is a little bit like people who think that we have to increase spending with education or with Medicare, Medicaid. We can't spend our way out of this problem. We have to grow our way out of this problem. And until individuals can admit that, growth or more moral understanding or knowledge of the law, unless people are willing to admit that they're fools, they'll never grow out of this dilemma. And, look at Epstein. He's 99.99%, gone, dead and buried, probably cremated, who knows. And, Bill Gates is giggling on TV, and he's still talking about mass vaccination. Some people are obsessed with certain topics and categories. For some people, the vaccine is the sexiest thing in the world to them because they know governments will continue to borrow and spend to manufacture them. And it is a national geostrategic security issue because, we are still investing in biolabs at scale and researching chemical, biological, warfare. And it's madness. But it's neither here nor there in the Church of Buttercup. I see we have Caleb in the audience. And, Buttercup and Emrose were in the room earlier. And I just got to say, Emrose wants all of us to be terrified. She said it yesterday. She said, you should all be terrified. We should all be terrified. Because if they can do this to the Palestinians, they can do this to us. And that type of fear-mongering is not based in wisdom, knowledge, understanding, or any type of comprehension at all with regards to God. And that's why they keep saying, nonstop, their mantra is, this is not a religious war. They have to keep repeating that to themselves because it is a confirmation bias of their position. And so, I like you, Barth, because you want to talk about the GOD. And that's great. And education is great, but fear-mongering and political propaganda and distorting facts and causing emotional disturbances by kicking over hornets' nests, it's just going to take, a highly vaccinated, double-boosted, triple-vax, liberal, leftist, socialist, communist, atheist to basically do their shtick, which is performative artwork. and to kick over hornet's nest and scream like a banshee.
Hello? Hello?
Sheikh, are you in Palestine on your connecting flight to Iran?
Yeah, just a little bit over turbulence over here in Pakistan. They're celebrating 4th of July during this time of the year.
Too bad. I hear that Barth had a great rumor earlier about Aisha's box and whether or not she served in the military conquest campaigns. Barth, did you ever come to any resolution whether or not Aisha was a boy involved in a pedophilic homosexual relationship with Muhammad?
They'd rather defend their prophet, Swalala Walayhi Wasalam, and call him they'd rather call him a child abuser of women than call him a homosexual. I'm trying to give them outs. I even asked ChatGPT, and you know what ChatGPT said to me, because it knows me so well? I'm going to tell you what it said to me, right? And it said, why you might feel this way, Barth. Let's explore that rationally. Discomfort with the age reports, 6 or 9 narrations in Bukhari and Muslim. The psychological difficulty accepting the narrative. Wanting a clear alternative explanation. That explicit makes sense emotionally, Bart. Historically, if you want strong arguments in this debate, you need defensible grounding, and we don't have it. So it's telling me, I understand why you're emotional, why you want to find an out, why you feel the need to try this, to go down this road of trying to eliminate a female from this action so that it looks like he has a little sense of dignity in saying that he wouldn't fuck a 9-year-old girl. Like, I want that. I want that for him. I'd rather say he was in his desires than actually be that fucking devil, garbage human being. You understand? Like, he can reconcile the boy thing. We can reconcile the boy thing. Like, her being a girl, I'm not so sure if any man can reconcile that. You know, that boy would have grew up and fucked Muhammad. You get what I'm saying? That boy would have grew up and said, blow me, motherfucker, and you would have done it. It's not the same. It's not the same as a man taking advantage of a girl that is helpless. So I'm just stuck, and I want to reconcile. I want clarity.
I think they destroyed the original Quran, and now we don't know this information. Otherwise, we would have seen the same exact rights Aisha had with other women in modern days.
I'd like to say, are you willing to die on this hill? Because a lot of people just want to do redundancies and repetitions, and that's cool if it's successful. If you've got a shtick that people have become hypnotized with, well then you found some type of formula for essentially getting people to return, and a return customer is the basis of a good business. You can't launch a new business every day and rebrand. It's got to be consistent. And I think Mark has always preached consistency as the root of success. And Narjas here is saying there's so much hate, but I would say Narjas is technically spending a lot of time in hate rooms. This isn't a hate room in any way, shape, or form. This is the final battle. I hope that this room will once and for all eliminate all future debates and conversations for Catholics and Christians, Jews and Hindus, Buddhists and Muslims. I hope that this room will satisfy all receipts and demands and debts, and we can pay it all off with a public note instrument. That instrument might be Freemasonry, ladies and gentlemen, because that's a brotherhood where Muslims, Jews, and Catholics, guess what, come together, but they have to declare a one God. And it's not just that they declare they believe in a God, but they declare their faith in the one God.
Point of order, moderator, point of order.
Point of order, moderator.
But the other thing too is men of different faiths
Point of
come
order,
together in
moderator.
prison.
Shake, hold on a second. Narja is speaking, and she's requested a point of order.
Thank you. Not Christian or Jew or Muslim, not Hindu, Buddhist, Sufi, not any religion or cultural system. I am not from the east nor from the west. I am not from the ocean or from the ground. I am not natural or ethereal. I am not composed of any elements at all. I do not exist. I am not an entity in this world or of the next. I did not descend from Adam or Eve or any origin story. My place is the placeless, a trace of the traceless. I am neither body nor soul. I belong to the beloved. I have seen the two worlds, only as one. And that one call to and know, the first, the last, the outer, the inner, only that breath, the breathing human being. That's what I am.
We have a Muslim to respond. If you want to get moderate to kick this coffer to the goo, you can do that if that'll make you feel fulfilled in your faith.
Can I respond from the Muslim perspective?
Yeah.
This is the utmost interesting topic. Not only do men come together of different faiths in Freemasonry, but different men of different faiths come together in prison.
We also have Joanna. Welcome, Joanna, to the stage. I feel like Joanna and our great Megatron here are like cousins or brothers and sisters. You two sound like you're from the same family. That's not true, right?
Who else? Megatron?
Sound like you're from the same family.
Yeah, we live next door. I know Megatron in real life. What do they call it? IRL? Why, you can hear it?
Small world.
Well, it's a small world. Here it is. We're here.
Well, this is going to be the last and final room of all time for all religious debates here on the app. It's the final battle in the Church of Buttercup. We hope to once and for all satisfy all curiosity, all demands, all exceptions to the debate, the never-ending, endless debate that Barth and others have been creating here day after day. And today, Barth admitted that he was so proud because he kicked 60 Muslims out of his room. It made him feel great, like he was cleaning up the streets or something.
Like deportation.
Is Barth an ICE agent?
Possibly.
It's all making sense now. He's a clubhouse ICE agent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I've got to alert the liberals.
I'm trying.
Oh my God. They're not illegals. They're trying to become legal.
I know 4 people who got deported already.
Oh my God. You know, well, you know what's his face on here, right?
Yeah. You know him?
He claims that he got deported to Mexico. I think he's full of shit.
What's his face? No, I think it's true. I have some kind of
Who?
I'm afraid to say.
Edmund, who is it?
We don't have to say his name.
All right, I'll write it in.
Diego? Okay, write it and delete it after.
I'm drawing a blank. It'll come to me.
Describe.
So I want to thank
Oh, okay.
everybody
You can
coming.
delete it. I don't know this guy.
Yeah, Hermes. So I want to thank everybody for coming. This is a meditation room because Clubhouse is nothing but toxicity. So let's maintain our equilibrium.
Point of order, moderator.
Exactly. Robert's rules.
Really? Really?
Yeah, look up Robert's rules.
Oh, I thought you meant Robert T.
Oh, Robert Taylor. He's casting me in movies. He's a horrible director producer. His movies are really good.
Yeah, why are
Like,
you
for a
being
guy who
casted
loves
in that
movies,
movie?
He loves movies so much, but he can't put together anything. He can't even write. It's like, see, the thing is, you're a good writer if you're a good reader. It turns out that reading and writing are like the same thing. And if you read somebody who's really well written, well, that makes you a good writer if you read their book. And I've been reading a lot of good
I
books.
wrote 3 books. They're on Amazon. Can I get?
Yeah, I know. You're awesome. Put the link in the chat again.
Okay.
You did a great job with your business there.
Oh yeah, I got another
let's go.
200 this month.
Give me $200.
Yeah, but that's I want to go bigger. I want to get it out there to, like I wrote to Oprah. But they never read their mail.
They're not going to publish you unless they got like an interest or like your
Yeah.
pedo ring or something.
Yeah, where's my?
Maybe you should start a cult. And
I love cults.
yeah, not many people really think about it, but if you think about it, you can
Think
claim
about
that
that.
everything is. You can claim that
I
everything is a
do.
cult.
I think about cults all the time.
Because a call and a T, you're just calling people into categories. That's really all cults are. And so if you claim that you're a cult deprogrammer, well, guess what? You run a cult of cult deprogramming. And so I've been reading about how to decondition people from very hardcore cults because there's a lot of really crazy cults out there in the Hindu faith, in the Jewish faith, and many of these people are trapped and they can't get out. They've got no other options. They can't operate in the secular world. They don't know how to go to the grocery store and save money with coupons. They don't know how to create a Craigslist
Exactly. That's
account.
what I'm here for. That's why I wrote books.
You wrote a book. I'll read it.
Yeah, about how to save coupons in Germany, even though we don't have coupons.
Oh, you know, my daughter saves people from cults. That's what she does.
Oh,
She
really?
left a cult.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's much more interesting, honey. For me, it's just to save a few cents on a grocery. The coupon code.
Yeah, my daughter saves people. It's called Healing from a Cult. Healing from Cults. She has a business. She has a website. She has a YouTube. She has a podcast. She
Fatima.
hypnotizes people to get them deprogrammed. She's a hypnotherapist like you. Like, John Principle? Universe.
Blue, welcome to the room, Blue.
Hey, blue, true blue, baby, I love you.
Blue moon. Let's think about songs that have the word blue in it.
Blue velvet.
Oh, good. Blue suede shoe.
Blue suede shoes. I love blue velvet. Blue velvet.
Zalani, welcome to the room, Zalani.
You're so bad.
Zalani is a trans. Look out, everybody. We have a they, them on stage.
Is that for real?
It's true. 1 for the money, 2 for the show.
3 to get ready and 4 to go. Okay, everybody. Again, you're in the final battle. There are more battles after the final battle. That's what makes it. We're going all in. We're going all in. Mark the date. Today's the final battle, February 16th, 2026. This is the final battle, the battle of all battles. We will once and for all determine exists, number one.
Number one.
And number two, we will solve the mystery of all religions, and we will ultimately get to the truth through the final battle. We're going to use AI. We're going to use comedy. We're going to use art. We're going to use genius and intelligence and love to get to the final solution. And then we're going to print it out.
But the 3-step route?
We're going to print it out, put it on the wall with a little thumbtack, and we're going to timestamp it with a stamp and sign it, and that'll be it. And there'll be no longer a need to ever spend another minute on this app, unless it's a roast, and we're making fun of people, of course. But this will be the final battle between all the world's Catholics, all the Jews throughout the world, and all the Hindus, the 1 billion plus Hindus on the planet, and the 800 million Buddhists, and the 1.1 billion Muslims from Indonesia to Saudi Arabia, to Iran and Oman, to Yemen, and even to Vancouver and Toronto. We give you the final battle. In the left corner, we have a Muslim. In the right corner, we've got a Jew. In the northeast corner, we got a Christian Catholic. And in the northwest corner, we got a Buddhist. In the southwest corner, we got a Hindu. And in the center, we have the final battle. Arm yourselves and prepare for battle. Grab your Bibles, grab your Qurans, grab your Bhagavad Gita's, and bring your best quotes and best verses in this theological, never-ending, ontological, etymological debate. This ontological, eschatological, theological, universal debate about words, endless definitions about the debates on the definitions of words. Like, for example, what does the word mean with a capital W? A word, the word. So debating words, and we already know that the capital W is the capital G-O-D, not the little G-O-D. Hello?
Hello?
Buttercup is proud to sponsor this all-hands final battle. And you could call this the Clubhouse Apocalypse, the final countdown to the ultimate final battle of the universe. We finally did it. It only took us 6 years of wasting time debating definitions for the sake of ESL speakers in other countries that want to try to learn English, native English, you know. But we did it. We've exposed all the haters, all the crash outs, all the neurological disorders, the psychotics and the sociologically deranged. You can call them sociopaths. We've done it. We've recorded. We've garbaged out. We actually filled the garbage dump up. That's actually why we're doing the final battle, because there's no more place to put any more garbage, it turns out. Recycling is a big issue. And without recycling, we actually wouldn't even be able to do this right now, because we ran out of landfill space years ago, technically. But through the magic and the miracle of the internet, we've been able to store an infinite amount of garbage, fucking thousands of trillions of worth of garbage. Anyways, in the church in Buttercup, we have one rule. You can't bring any drama in to the church from any other past rooms. This is the final room, and it's a new room. Therefore, that's the only rule. And if you are not here now, but you will be here later in this room, and you don't know that rule, well, we might be kind and let you know about that rule. It's the inside joke room rule. You can't bring up any old drama in the final battle. You have to be in the now. The now is all important. Just like all when you realize that everything is God. Everything. And when you create a room called Proof to Me God Exists, but you won't let anybody actually speak for more than 3 sentences, that's an ADHD problem with your brain. And, you know, you could call disability, and you should be compensated for that disability by your government and your fellow taxpayers. And I'm so happy you've chosen this room as your final room of the day, the final battle between the Muslims and all the other world religions that they deface and destroy at every opportunity they get. Those beautiful Buddha statues in the meditative mountains of the Afghani Kush, you know, how could they do that? Destroy that beautiful artwork in the name of God. But in some ways, it's kind of cooler now that the Buddhas don't have any heads. It's almost like through destruction, you know, you get to see the truth of the earth and the G.O.D. This is the Church of Buttercup. Yeah, I'm going to take a break here because my monologue has been going on for quite a while. Great contribution, Narjas, but you can't do any copyrighted music longer than 1 to 2 seconds. So, fortunately, we're going to have to forego that beautiful Queen Rhapsody by that Persian F word, and that's that movie that came out. You know, it's a good movie. The thing is, they never talk about Freddie Mercury's like best blowjobs. You know, like Freddie Mercury has a powerful voice, but in terms of like inhaling a cock,
Yeah, with a mouth like that.
yeah, he had like. Did you ever see him in that movie? He's got like those teeth that protrude, darling.
Protruding teeth.
My teeth protrude. That's how you can always tell someone can do a good blowjob, because that means the teeth are angled right for the job.
Correct. You do not interfere with the process.
Well, I'd like to prove that I can clear out a room by the power of my wand. Let me demonstrate for you a little song. I want to dedicate this to the final battle. Take the deepest breath of the day and hold it for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 11, 10, 9, 9. The beautiful sun is setting. Here we go. The day of the word is Zionist. The next day of the word is occupation. The next magic day of the word is genocide. The next day of the word is neocolonialism. Next day of the word is checkpoints, or illegal checkpoints. This is the glossary to a Free Palestine instruction manual, by the way. With flute accompaniment. Next day of the word is white structural racism. Just remember that all communication is conditioned, and all communication is suggestion, and all communication is political, and all communication is hypnosis. You have all been hypnotized in the Church of Buttercup. This is your deconditioning, reconditioning hypnosis. Hello? in the audience, those are both my accounts. If Nora Bandora is wondering which Anon is mine, they're both mine. Hello. This last song will be called. What's a good woke leftist term that I'm forgetting? Anybody? Arches Abbey. What can we add to the glossary? CRT, BLM, DEI, LGBTQ.
TDS, since you like to use that.
You failed to understand my question, Henry.
I'm watching TV, sorry.
Yeah, some people are asking me, why do I have the Liberian flag tattooed on my chest? That's because I'm Liberian, obviously.
Liberian.
I was born in Liberia. I'm actually an African American.
Neat. You have the flag of the 12 stars.
Marching song to the final battle, the one room that will settle all rooms and all debates across the Clown House universe for all time, ever and ever. Next time you go into a Barnes room, in a Daniel Nero room, or a Narje's room, just know that these debates have already been settled.
I got no rules.
Hello?
Hello?
We are now invoking Jehovah to come and give us the war engine for the final victory. But we need to use the secret key activator and strike the master chord to draw the flaming sword. Oh, Mixed is here. He's here to represent the Jewish army, the army of God.
I'm loving this flute.
Thank you. Mixed, how do you say army of God in Hebrew?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know that secret magic Hebrew word?
Yeah.
I don't know what the word for armies would be.
I read it in a Kabbalah book one time. There's a definite Hebrew one or two words that describe the army of God in Hebrew.
Isn't that like what Sahal stands for?
Sahal?
Sahal. Early Zionist youth movement.
I think it's, I'll put it in the chat. It's Sava.
Well, maybe I'm right.
Which is
Oh,
a
it's in the
short
chat.
word. It's a short word for WhatsApp.
Sava. No, it's going to be its own word, meaning like army that they apply to other places.
Easy. Well, the Sadi. The Sadi is first. What?
Right,
There's
yeah,
a
I'm saying.
Sadiq. A Sadiq, and then there's a Sada.
Rabbanu Shalom. Judy, we got Judy in the audience. Judy loves. Oh, Judy loves.
Oh, Judy love. She thinks it's the Church of Buttercup, bro. She's Buttercup's friend. What the
I love how Buttercup always says, Judy is like my best friend. I've known Judy my whole life for 25 years. Anyways. This
What's
is the
your
final
question
battle
about an army of
exact.
God?
Rabbanu Shalom, what?
What's your question about an army of God?
What's the Hebrew translation? Army of God.
I don't know.
Rabboni Shalom, you'll never be a soldier with that attitude in the army of God.
I'm not a soldier.
I know, you're a priest. That's okay. The priest also serves in the army. I don't know if you know that.
Do you know how the priest serves in the army?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you?
Yes, there's a special prayer they give.
What's the special prayer?
It mostly tells people to go home if they're scared.
Go home? To a clubhouse?
No. Like, I think the specific instructions are if you got married in the past year, if you recently, like, purchased a house, or if you invested in a property, go back to tend to your possessions so that your distraction will not distract the rest of the army.
That would be like every one of us.
It sounds like that song, you know, take a shower, shine new shoes, you got nothing, no time to lose, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, controlling the fear and the confidence of an army is part of maintaining an army.
Everyone has some kind of distraction of their thoughts. They're for the only ones like,
okay.
fit for it.
Except for the people that stay.
That stay, yeah. Or dedicate them to that role, that cause.
Well, you know, it's also a bit of a peer pressure thing. Like, people can leave. There's a list of explanations why a person would leave, but then also you're abandoning your brothers at arms who will be going out there to fight. So it's a bit of a game theory thing, but everyone by the end of it commits to not running away.
It's like Hotel California.
Yes, and there were 2 soldiers who were appointed to stand in the back of the armies carrying 2 axes to kill anyone that tried to desert.
Like ice cream sundaes?
No, it would behead them.
Why the bloody prayer though? Like, what purpose does the prayer serve?
To fortify the troops, that only those who are committed to go out and fight go out. But even with that happening, people still get scared once the fighting starts. And people abandon the line, especially with that style of warfare, with like phalanxes and siege warfare. A single break could cost everyone their lives. Which is why you have the 2 guys pointed at the backs to tell everyone, if you run away, we're going to have to kill you because you're risking the life of everyone.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that, you know, that's also why court-martials exist with their own justice system, and going AWOL is a criminal offense. Militaries are old structures.
When I was in the army, this guy left the base, and then he got arrested at the airport, and he came back in chains, and I said, where did you go? Why did you leave? And he says, this sucks. I just wanted to go home. I was like, so you just called, how did you leave? He's like, I called the taxi and I left. I was like, you called the taxi and went to the airport and just tried to leave? He goes, yeah. And they brought him back in chains.
Knucklehead.
You know, said Judy and Buttercup and Emrose yesterday kept saying, you know, we should all be terrified because if they can do this to the Palestinians, they can do this to us. And
they who?
The Zionists, of course. And so Emrose keeps
You're saying if Israel can treat Palestinians in the way that they do, what stops them from treating New Yorkers in the way that they treat the Palestinians?
I think she made humanity, global
Humanity, like which parts of humanity? Like the Russians, the Japanese,
The all.
Indians.
The all.
The all. Well, I mean, like I guess the simple sort of klutz answer to her question is, Israel seems to only be targeting the people that geographically affect their sense of security, which doesn't seem to be anybody on the face of the earth other than the Palestinians. Maybe Iran.
So they keep repeating a mantra, which is, this is not a religious war. And it's my belief they have to keep repeating that mantra.
Does it, like, matter if it is or is not a religious war? I don't even understand what's a contest there. Who cares?
Because it's
like what, for posterity?
Racism.
Who exactly is grading you on whether you labeled it a religious war correctly or incorrectly? Who really cares?
It is an important distinction for them, and there's a reason
why
they keep repeating it. Because they're atheists.
What does that matter?
It makes a significant difference to their world, theory. This is a definitive, statement over and over again that Buttercup and Emrose keep making, which is, this is not a religious war. They have to keep repeating it. It's an important, framing that is happening there, where they're claiming that there is no religious context to this dispute. And to me, it's foolish and really shows how little of an understanding they have of human behavior and what motivates an Islamic jihadist to mercilessly kill. Because I've seen the videos from October 7th, and these are hardened Islamic extremists, fundamentalists, militants, and they can't see how these people most absolutely utilized their culture, faith, and etc. to commit the horrific acts and barbarism that they did. I think they're pirates. And to Judy and to Buttercup and to Ambrose, these are not pirates. These are reactionaries to an oppressive Zionist, white structural racist, neo-colonialist, Zionist occupation of terrorism, and they view the IDF as the terrorists, and they view the freedom fighters of the Palestinian people, aka the pirate militant Islamic terrorists, as the freedom. So there's an important reason why they keep saying it's not a religious war, because that doesn't meet their definition or their frame or their vision. And so they can't accurately describe reality.
I think they don't want to classify it as a religious war because the Jews would win in that fight.
When you've got terrorists, the video.
Other religions as well.
I'm saying if someone wanted to throw down religious debate as to whether the Muslims should occupy the land of Israel, or if Judaism and the religion of the Jews should occupy the land of Israel, the argument for the Jews is far stronger.
It's sad, but there are other religions too in the region. There are Christians, there are all kinds of
Sure, I grant you the argument that is the strongest is the one that pluralistically allows for all of the religions of the earth to function there, specifically the ones that have a sacred site in the land of Israel. But the religious argument, if anyone concedes that it's a religious war, that the Islamic religious position is to wage jihad against Israel because of the occupied territories, which are by right property of the Islamic caliphate or communities, that religious argument is not as strong and not as compelling as the Jewish religious argument of their commandment from God to live in only that land, them and them alone, and to usher in the Messianic age.
That's not it.
That's not it.
They don't.
I'm just saying that's true. If you make it a religious argument,
they don't want it to be a religious argument because
they lose.
Because they and here's my optimism. Okay, follow me. They still want something there to be something redeemable about Jews and Judaism. That's why they don't want it to be a religious war. That's why they can't have Zionism be connected to Judaism, because they actually are still tribal in the way that they are fighting against. They still love us, but they think there's still something redeemable. And they're standing with people that hate us and want to kill us because they can't tell the difference.
What? I don't understand.
I don't
How does
know
that
about the
track?
last part. I can't.
they can't tell the difference between people who are saving Judaism and people who want to harm it.
I don't know.
No, I think they can tell that like the Muslims or the Palestinians aren't like engaged in a righteous mission to preserve Judaism. They know that. Their concern is that Judaism, in order to defend itself, is taking dark turns that will corrupt it and also make it unsafe in the world at large.
I don't believe that. I don't think they're saying that. I don't think they're saying that. Although
You don't think they're saying that? They're
Yeah, I
not
don't
saying
think
that. You might think they don't believe that. That's fair.
yeah,
I think they probably don't fully believe it.
I think
It's a
they're
bit of
saying-
an outlandish claim.
It is, and I keep saying that even though it's not apparently like a fight for religion, right, or pursued by religion, it's still.
It's obviously colored by religion. You
It is
can't like
colored by
just
religion.
disavow.
You can't
Like the very
completely take it out
identity
of
of the Jews is seeped within both its own religion, its own religious identity, its own religious evolution, and the religious evolution and determinations of nearby religions. Like, you can't remove religion from Jewish identity or its political existence.
Or the Middle East.
Or the Middle East, or and much.
Middle East also.
Much can be said about the Muslims too, right?
Which makes it a religious war. Which makes us wonder, why is it that the liberals, in fighting to campaign for the Palestinians who are poor and disenfranchised, why won't they engage with the religious component of the argument?
But Zach, you also identify as a New Yorker, not just a Jewish.
I am a New Yorker.
Yeah, so like you have different.
That asks a good question. Why won't these left woke socialist, liberal, Democrat, communists,
with the religion.
atheists engage in? Yeah.
Because you can't critique brown people.
What do you mean? We critique them all the time.
I'm telling you, it's
That's
because-
racist. I can critique anyone I want.
Yes, exactly. I'm telling you.
You're a racist. Go away.
Maybe in a certain ideology, right? Brown people are always lesser than white people structurally. And
Still racist.
Yeah, that's racist. That's kind of racist.
Super racist.
I'm telling you, this is their racism.
That's like the people that say, black people, can't get an ID, so you can't have voter ID. That's like the same thing as like.
I asked you why they won't engage with the religion. You told me because it's the wrong race. You can't ignore religion just because you've got another hot button issue called race. You got to engage with the religion. This isn't about race. It's about the religion.
That's right.
Yeah, but it's all right.
Maybe a little bit. What with the temple and the old sites and the dead bodies and the ancient languages and the scrolls. Maybe it's about the religion. Maybe not the race in this one instance.
Wait, you guys have scrolls?
If you critique, in their worldview, if you critique Islam, you're an Islamophobe. If you critique migrants, you're anti-immigrant. If you critique,
Okay. How about
if you make a picture of Muhammad, you can get killed.
Within a liberal mindset that acknowledges the existence of religion, that there can be a pro-Judaic region of the world that in that particular region doesn't endorse Islam or Christianity and sticks to their understanding of Judaism. Can that happen pluralistically? That's racist. But I tell you, this is about religion and it's the brown people's religion, so it's okay. Get the hell out of here.
I think Kitover made a very good point.
What's a brown person's religion?
All kinds of everything.
I think voodoo.
That's racist.
It's so anti-Semitic. I mean, racist. What Kitover said really makes sense. He's saying that atheism cannot engage in religion. It's just another headache in this whole freaking.
They can, but they choose not to.
Atheism is engaging. They just kind of engage like nihilistic jerks smoking cigarettes with leather jackets on.
I mean, if you think about it,
right? Like show me more.
Atheism can be religion in itself.
This saying?
Because it's not a god doesn't mean that's not
Did you
religion.
see it by yourself?
I'm saying it's an easier argument to make without like involving the whole freaking shebang of theism, right? So that's what they're saying. There's no.
Well, maybe
such thing
it's
as
their religion,
Well, what do you think about
Their
this?
way of engaging with religion, which is just a
hold on,
fact.
what do you
because they feel left out.
So if we believe that there's opposites like Zionist and anti-Zionist or atheist and theist, My point is, they will never get the solution they want to get because they declare that we can't have God in this conversation. There's no need for it, and we will have the liberation we want, but we have to organize. So my point to them is, if you take God out of that equation, then there's no. If you are a God believer, you do believe that supreme power, intelligence, is your winning factor. And so they can't win or achieve what they want because they don't have the war engine or basically the perpetual autonomy. They're really looking for
them like they are the God.
What?
Like an atheist, right?
The thing is,
they don't believe in God because they are the God.
You have to look at their mantra. Their repetition is, this is not a religious war, this is not a religious battle, this is not a religious conflict. They say that over and over and over again.
Yeah, but that's just like a lie, right?
Exactly. It is 100%.
They're lying to themselves.
And I'm saying that even if it's not
Let them lie to whoever, but like it is a religious conflict. So like, what do you do with the information that there's a whole bunch of liberals who are pushing for civic reforms for the Palestinians and their broad political position, with no semblance of engagement with the actual subject matter under debate. This is not talking about the religion.
Actually, this is a good point. Chaviv Retigur, who, if you're not reading and listening to, you should. Yeah, he's amazing. I'll put his name in the chat. He just got interrupted at a talk he was doing at Haverford College in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
and
he's stuff like that happens.
and he was like, and he's, I mean, a bastion of liberalism. And he was like, no, seriously.
I know.
And he said the exact same thing. He's like, you think you are going to interrupt me here and have that message get to Israelis? You don't know anything about Israelis. You don't want to engage with Israelis. You only want to engage with Jews in the diaspora because you think that's your target. It's exactly right. They don't want to engage because they don't want to be on the side of power.
I'm saying, I don't think I agree with that.
No, listen, I see the question. They're not engaging. You guys keep trying to motive psychologize them. I'm not so bold. I don't see an explanation as to why the big, strong, atheist liberals can't talk about God. That's weird to me. I don't know why it is.
Because they would destroy their narrative.
How? Why?
You know, Caleb, like that college, like it's surrounded by St. Joe's and Villanova and a lot of these religious schools, and those people are way more tolerant than the
way more. The Haverford people are like, oh my God, they've jumped off the left end.
Yeah, it's almost like their non-religious beliefs is their religion.
They are illiberal to the max.
Even if it's not motivated by religion, right? I think the underlying religiosity reeks out of the situation, which they're not ready to freaking face for some reason, because it's another headache you're adding to the whole, the whole pantheon of reasons. So I definitely think there's an underlying religiosity. And to be optimistic, I'd say like religion is being used as a tool for hope, as a tool for survival, etc., that we justify to ourselves, right? That I'm doing this for a cause, that cause is God.
Well, sometimes it makes us feel good.
But love and intelligence is by definition God. And so when you look at Mahatma Gandhi, who defeated the British Empire by being a radical peacenik, why can't the Hamas disarm and negotiate disarmament? Well, my point is, there will be, like, what?
Radical pacifism results in
But the same can be said for the Zionists.
I get it, but that outcome could still be better than the alternative.
If you care about something, defend it. Why is everyone trying to reinvent the wheel every single
It's not this is game theory. I'm just introducing game theory. And if you want to look, it's not a chessboard here. We're talking about human lives that are suffering beyond belief on both sides.
And what are you doing about it?
Yeah, that sounds like
I'm here complaining in the complaining with the rest of the complainers. That's it.
You should run for Congress.
I have run for Congress, and the point is,
You should stop running for Congress and start winning your seat.
I am a write-in candidate, and part of the critique that I've witnessed is that people don't talk about the issues. They just want to attack me personally and just throw the fraud word around. And it's kind of like the debate here, where they can't engage with the theistic aspect of this conflict. Ambrose and Buttercup. You're in the Church of Buttercup right now.
My theory is that they don't do it because they lose.
My theory.
And nobody likes losing.
Well, they're going to lose because they don't have the intelligence to do the debate to begin with.
I'm saying if you measure up a disinterested, and this is I think what the evangelical American Christians are looking at. If you assume a disinterested stance and measure both of their religious claims in terms of the worldview they're trying to create on an ethical basis, you'll end up siding with the Jews. Like they try to characterize them as racist, but like the alternative from the religious Muslim perspective is genocidal.
Wait, who says the Jews are racist? Who says that?
The liberals.
Interpretation of the law. Look at the laws of
the liberals say that the Israelis are racist
against the Palestinians.
Yeah, upon its inception, that's like the view is that
their logic is flawed.
The premise of the Declaration of Independence of Israel, securing a sovereignty under a Jewish state, to create that is racist per se in Buttercup's estimation.
Can I say?
So we have. Yeah, go ahead.
I think Buttercup, as nice as she is embarrassed that she's Jewish. Therefore, maybe the people she mixed with are very pro-Pali, so she's come out with this pro-Pali dialogue.
Well, she's got a Zionist
system. It's a dangerous dialogue because 80 odd years ago, we still had, 80 years ago in a few days, we had liberations of concentration camps, and to be embarrassed of what Israel's doing, you only have to look, and somebody says they've seen a load of September the 7th videos of guys on motorbikes throwing his father down and killed the Jews, What's to be embarrassed about? Hamas have committed genocide. They've blown their own people up. Yeah, Buttercup.
Well, you have to emphasize that Buttercup is, at least within her estimation, in a privileged white liberal American bubble, by which she can adopt the very pampered perspective of pacifism and decry all violence as not related to her, and for her own security, she can just disavow every violent action as not having anything to do with her, even when people are engaging in violence to nominally defend her and her homeland.
Yeah, because she doesn't fight on the battleground, She's not.
Yeah, and she's in America. Like, she doesn't have to. That's part of the privilege of being in America.
Can't you take personal responsibility for everything that you're not responsible for and make that the basis of your moral argument?
No, you can't. Knock it off.
Well, welcome everybody to the Church of Buttercup. This is the final battle of Clown House, where the Catholics, Jews, Hindus, and Muslims will fight the Muslims in the final battle. You are witnessing some of the most intelligent, learned, educated, knowledgeable, and human beings with the greatest understanding on the planet use a social audio conference call app to have the final battle conversation.
With two PhDs.
Bring all your big words and definitions, ladies and gentlemen. We need a Muslim, we need a Jew, we need a Christian or a Catholic, and we need a Hindu and a Buddhist.
And a Protestant.
Their testament.
That's definitely racist.
And their final deposition,
John Kitover on this.
We need a signature with a notary on this one, ladies and gentlemen, because it's the final battle.
On this,
the final court case. We've got our priest in the left-hand corner.
Since this is President's Day, what's your favorite president, John Kitover? Wait, do you have a favorite president?
I gotta think about that, David. I would base my answer off of like an aesthetic style. I'm leaning towards FDR because that guy looked like Mr. Monopoly, and that's a pretty cool.
Who's the guy that dropped the bombs?
That was Truman. Truman dropped those big boys.
So he's good.
But FDR developed him.
Yeah, FDR. He got Einstein. You know, freed him with a paperclip, brought him over, said, "Make us a big one." Einstein.
He's Jewish, by the way. Jewish.
The Manhattan
Einstein
Project.
didn't build the bomb.
Let's just go. All right, everybody, this is the final battle. No need to use ChatGPT.
Was Oppenheimer Jewish?
Memory. Sheikh is here. He's in a layover right now in Palestine on his way to Iran. And we've got everybody here, including the Lord.
Migzed, was Oppenheimer Jewish?
He was.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's true. I do actually have a Jewish book by Rabbi Oppenheimer out of Tel Aviv. So, Rabbono Shalom, Gekazen Lichtigen, Dein Eugen, and Fushta. You're in the ultimate battle space. Bring your best stories of your best traditions and your best memories. No ChatGPT allowed. And also, the number one rule here is you can't bring in drama from old rooms. It's got to be new drama. And that's it.
What about, can I bring a point from chillism?
There will be no drama permitted in the final battle. But this is the ultimate theological religious debate room you've never wanted to join. And it's your time. It's your choice to be here, ladies and gentlemen. So bring us what you got.
It's our time down here. It's our time. The goodies.
Who speaks for the people below? Anyone? Anyone here? Have you ever seen Les Miserables?
Yeah.
Speaks for the people here below?
Yeah, but I was rooting for the bourgeoisie.
Really? Why?
I want to be the bourgeoisie.
Our honored guest. Emrose, we're debating why you keep repeating this is not a religious conflict. If you can help give us your perspective or answer or worldview, I'm interested to know. I think it's because you need confirmation bias of your faith, but I don't really know you well enough to actually accurately apologize you, as people have put it. But we're curious, Ambrose, because I find you to be so annoying that you've made Buttercup look tolerable, which is a very difficult thing to do. That means you are a stinkier, nastier piece of shit than fucking diarrhea.
Whoa.
And I didn't think it was possible to make Buttercup look good, but you've done it. You are the most obnoxious, noisy, rattling bean in a box I've ever heard.
Oy vey, what did she do to you?
I know, right?
I spent like 3 days recording her.
What's going on? Why would you say that about Emrose? Stop.
No, it's true.
You should apologize. You should apologize.
She can defend her positions with my.
Sorry.
Oy vey, where do you guys get her foot from?
You're a beautiful woman, but Emrose, you don't know this about me. But
what is a woman?
And it's that ESL is actually what's happening here, and I can detect that you're not
Our best men working on it.
You're not a native Hebrew Israeli speaker. You're from somewhere else.
Is he BHI? Are you Black Israeli?
Misrepresenting who you are, and you love to talk about certain topics that essentially make you a hypocrite because you're not authentic. You're not the genuine article, are you? Hello? And I do apologize for calling you diarrhea or excrement or feces.
Well, that's a step up.
Do you accept his apology?
Ribbon Shalom, and I'll try to make a special, Tikkun Olam on Yom Kippur for my insult. And I'll ask you for forgiveness. But you could come up here right now and tell us why you keep repeating the mantra, this is not a religious conflict. Because I like to sit here and, do these
I like turtles.
You don't you, David? Well, listen, go get yourself another lemonade. Go back to the kids' table and have yourself a seat. I'll get you a slice of pizza. This is a barbecue, okay? We've got pizza, and there's pepperoni and pineapple on it.
Why is there
kosher? It's from Little Caesars, okay?
If I'm at a barbecue, I don't want pizza.
We're not raising enough
You
money.
can't. That's not kosher.
What about the pizza? What about the pizza at the birthday parties?
My a non-Jew
Allegedly.
that tried it said that it tasted exactly like a cheeseburger. So I had a cheeseburger.
I've had vegan butter, never vegan cheese though.
Vegan American cheese. Apparently it works.
Vegan cheese is
You know,
cheese
regular
from
American cheese is actually not real cheese anyway.
Well,
Yes, it is.
if you are Jewish and you've never been on Pico Boulevard in Los Angeles, there is a restaurant there called, their slogan is quality forever. That's to me the greatest slogan for a business ever, quality forever.
Are there a lot
It's a lot to live up to.
Is that like a Jewish
It's a
neighborhood?
burger joint, and you know, their cheeseburgers are great, but it's really their banana cream pie afterwards.
Right, that's where they really.
Which is what really tops off that cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Where do they get the for to make?
A lot of Yiddishkeit souls have been destroyed at this cheeseburger restaurant, and it's all powered by illegal alien labor. I'm sure ICE has put that cheeseburger restaurant out of business. It's unfortunate that laws have to be enforced. The one thing you'll never hear out of
Did you say
Emerald's
it's unfortunate that laws have to be enforced?
well, in Emerose's version of her, world view, law enforcement is the problem. Wouldn't you agree, Mixon, that she would agree with that?
I don't agree with that.
The pursuit of justice?
Was it
The pursuit of justice. It's
we
law
want
enforcement.
we want truth, justice, and American way, right? Superman said it best.
That was Superman.
Well, Emrose is, I'm not going to call her a coward. Let's just say that
That's cowardly of you.
And I get
Is there
you're gonna have to
anyone here that
apologize
will-
again.
Really mean.
Is there anyone here that will speak up for her, for the people down below?
I mean, I like Emeralds. I don't know why you're being so mean.
You're really mean to my friend.
She's a noise. She's just a signal.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
And you're
loud
not
and
noise.
obnoxious.
Nobody thinks of you like obnoxious noise.
Nobody thinks of you like that, Seth. Nobody thinks of you like that either.
I love that your go-to reason for disliking Emerald is
Is
that you
noise.
refer as, and I quote, obnoxious noise.
All communication is projection.
You, of all people.
She's not singing any songs.
Hello?
You know, as a wealthy person, I give my money away to help the little people all the time.
A wealthy person says wealthy. They don't say wealthy.
That's so
And
charitable.
you got 2 PhDs.
What
We
a
know that.
benefactor. What a true bonfire.
I bought a
Wealthy
piece
people
from
never
somebody
flop that
on this app, and I bought a $200 hat for another person on this app.
Ha 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 ha.
Well, you guys are accusing me of being mean to Emrose, but I would just submit that having recorded her for multiple days, it was like having a migraine real time. Because my brain thinks the opposite.
So
of
I
everything
gave you
that
plenty
she
of time. Who's your favorite president? You didn't even answer.
Oh, David.
He said FDR.
He was thinking. He didn't. That wasn't definitive.
He said FDR because he looks like the Monopoly man.
Yeah, Mr. Monopoly.
Is he the one that couldn't walk?
Yeah,
Yes.
he had polio.
And he lied to the nation about it until he died.
It turns out that
atomic
was
bomb had
actually
just
a
developed.
And that
vaccine.
reminds me of like Biden when he said like he was fine. He's fine. He's nothing's wrong with him.
Wow,
this
we
was
got
like
the
worse than
The my buttercup is here.
You set the trap. The fish will get caught. We got the fly. The Brundle fly. Hello?
Hello.
Buttercup, he was talking about you in a not nice way.
Welcome to the Church of Buttercup, the final battle.
What were you saying?
We were talking about how you and Emrose gave me a migraine over the past 72 hours.
Aw.
And then I said that Emrose is so obnoxious, she makes you tolerable.
Okay. That's it? That's all you got?
That's all.
I also said that you are human shit. Or you got the intelligence of a dog turd.
Ooh.
And Ambrose is diarrhea compared
No,
to your
he
dry dog
didn't.
turd. Some people say that that's crude, crass, or vulgar. I just say that I've heard people make death threats on here. And, the thing in literature...
Yeah, but you're
is
still
some
alive
people
even after all those threats.
Oh my god.
They don't
I just realized that
They don't love making it literature.
Half the concentrator is including the add-ons in the audience.
The add-ons of audience are him too.
Yes.
You're insane, John.
John is mad.
Why? You live in a superficial bubble. I can create superficial reality personalities if you can live in them and project them. Hello?
You know we're being live streamed on 6 different accounts right now, all of us.
40! Are you kidding me?
Nobody's watching
At
any
least
of them.
40 accounts. That's 40 phones.
Oh, I want to say for the record, I do not consent to being recorded.
Okay.
Too late, baby.
Wow.
What do you guys get the chutzpah to tell David he can't do it? Like, oy vey.
Who's more annoying, Baby Kapara or me? I wonder if I can sue you, John Kitover. I mean, we have a family lawyer. Maybe I should ask him.
Ask him, yeah. Go ahead, David. And so, Buttercup was asking, how can she be considered more annoying than BB? And I gotta admit that at first, I thought BB was really, really annoying. Like, I hated him. But then Elnora was like, oh, he's being aspirational. Let him be aspirational. And then I was like listening more closely. But it took time for him to essentially ripen into the beautiful plum that he is now. Because the fact of the matter is, Buttercup, the longer you listen, the more you will realize that there's a lot of psychopaths, sociopaths, and violent people who have no problem literally being vile with their words on.
It takes one to know one. No shit.
Incapable of even having a conversation. Totally incapable of having any form of communication which is reasonable. It's just some of these people on here. I don't know.
Define reasonable. Define reasonable.
So I say this is a compliment. You're like the Lenny Bruce of Clubhouse.
Who's Lenny Bruce?
Compared to Andy Kaufman.
A comedian, right? Like a real comedian.
Like the best comedian ever lived.
No, it's impossible.
I
have more videos out there than any comedian.
I like Jerry Seinfeld. He's a funny comedian.
What about Andy Warhol?
See, Jerry Seinfeld is a transcendental meditation practitioner.
He's also Jewish.
He's got a book called This Is It. You should read it. It might help you, Dave.
I have his book. It's Letters from an Idiot. I have that book.
Well, you should read This Is It because he goes into meditation. And my complaint against Buttercup and Emrose is that they're not teaching meditation classes. They're actually teaching people how to complain.
Well, meditation is hypnosis.
Complainers. Their social do-gooding is nothing more than complaints and complaining. And I am a garbage collector, collecting complaints, bringing it to garbage wasteland dump. But we've run out of space.
John, can I type up? Like, how are your legal troubles going? Do you need a lawyer? Because we have lots of them in the Jewish community.
You do?
Yeah. Do you need one?
Well, is that projection? Because I don't have any legal problems. Do you?
Wait, don't you have campaign finance problems?
Wow.
Stocks.
No, that's gossip. That's just gossip.
What about fraud?
It was published in the...
Fraud.
Yeah, we read remember Rick read the article?
You know what?
Hey,
See, this is...
judge. We don't judge here.
That's okay. I know you don't judge. You're not discerning or discriminating. You're a schmuck. And so my point is that having run for Congress, people want to attack me personally and say, oh, you got legal problems, don't you? But they don't want to talk about my political positions. They never want to talk about that, which is what I'm actually, the whole fucking point is what my opinions are. Not whether or not I got some legal problems. Some liberal AG.
All right, John, I'm dying to know. John, where do you stand on immigration? Go.
I stand very highly on all topics.
Report them all, right? I'm so glad I asked.
Ability and great dignity, unlike you who associate.
I asked you a real question. You didn't answer.
I'm answering your question, but you don't listen. You don't. You just talk. That's your dopamine fix. That's your Buttercup world.
What do you think you're doing right now? On immigration?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. David was.
Is this your final answer on immigration? This is your final position? You want this to be the record?
Oh, God.
Let the record show.
Timestamp it on my YouTube Live. Ooh, hello? So, Buttercup, my point is, I create artwork by recording Clubhouse rooms. What do you do other than complain? Hello?
I interview very talented congressional candidates about their
Like your
positions.
friend Judy?
This is my friend Judy. I've known Judy for 25 years and we're best friends. This is my social proof and credibility for all of my Judy.
Hi, guys.
My friend Judy. Hey, Judy.
This guy, bro. This guy.
How come he's top left?
Look at this guy.
Because I'm the creator of the Church of Buttercup. Duh.
This is gold. I love it. Thank you for doing this. I'm honored that by this.
This is the roast of Buttercup. This is when you know you
flattering
make
tribute.
pantheon of Jewish entertainment. Congratulations, Buttercup.
Do me
You
again.
and Ambrose are worthy of being roasted.
Now do Emerald. Do Emerald.
Mr. Universe.
Who is Emerose? Who is that anyway?
You are now being roasted. Everybody grab some coleslaw. I got Miller High Lifes in the fridge. Everyone is welcome to the roast of Buttercup.
Okay, now do Nargis. Try to do an Nargis.
He's called me an incoherent, irrational the other day. What the fuck?
Yeah, you say one sentence, and in one sentence, you literally, reverse yourself twice.
This is Nargis. Someone makes a really imbecilic point, and she goes, "That's a really good point. I think it's fair. It's a fair point.
It's a fair point. Let's dissect it."
And then she'll come up with some philosophical jargon that nobody knows. To make it
That is a fair point.
Well, okay, so this is my other point. Now that, I've been recording you, if you were to listen to yourself, how many times do you think you'll repeat yourselves? Because this is part of the thing that I've noticed with people on this app, that they repeat themselves a lot. And so I always hit a bell when I hear a repetition, because the truth is, if you want to move quicker, you've got to stop repeating yourself. No one wants to hear the same thing, because then they literally identify that it's redundant, that it's monotonous, and then they feel angry because they feel like they're wasting time with you because they've already heard you say it. They don't want to hear you say it again. They've already heard your shtick. So if you've ever seen a stand-up comedian do his routine twice, you're like, fuck! Why did I pay for this? I already heard this! Hello?
Hello?
Clearly you guys aren't Muslims, otherwise you wouldn't be hitting a bell over and over again, because Muslims don't hit bells. Hello? So this is the final battle, the final gathering place, which is somewhere in the Bible. I think it's called Apocalypse. And this is where the world's monoliths will essentially engage in a conflict which will destroy all monoliths and leave one monolith. And, Buttercup and Ambrose, they sit in their apartments and they squeal like banshees and harlots. Jewesses, who likes them. Jewesses. And they scream like banshees. And some guy on a boat named, Matt Damon is going through the ocean in this movie called The Odyssey, and then he hears Ambrose, and he hears Buttercup in the distance, screaming like banshees. Because, this is what Ambrose said yesterday. She said, we have to be terrified. We have to be fearful. We have to have a lot more anxiety than we're having right now. We have to. Because if they can do it to them, they can do it to us! Us! We the people!
Wow.
Well, I was hoping Ambrose was going to say something, but I think she just, unmiked to get in and get the room in the profile. I don't know. People want so loud. They're looking for
No, someone removed her. She said they removed her. Who did that?
She's back.
No, she's here.
Yeah, this is fake Ambrose. This is probably fake.
I don't know, it's me, but someone's been, I think.
Who was that?
Ambrose, I was kicked from a room once because the bastard creator of that room asked me, "What's my worldview?" and he kicked me. So I won't kick you.
Do you know what I wanted to tell you though?
Okay.
Remember, do you know how they say that the people who are the most homophobic are actually the ones that have the most insane gay fantasies?
I know, I heard.
So have you noticed how much you hate Buttercup and me? I think you want to be us, honey. I think we need to address the problem.
So wait, you're saying that I am homophobic because
I think it's the same parallel. You're obsessed with Buttercup and me because you actually want to be us. I think you're going through an identity crisis.
Oh, I want to be.
So I want to offer you our help through this journey. You should not go through this alone. Nobody has to go through this alone.
This is.
I promise. We'll be here to help you.
Wait, Ambrose, you're an atheist, right?
Good night, an idiot.
Hello? Oh, she can't converse with the universe. See, the point of the universe is that we are all one point in the universe. We all have one special talent or thing that we can give. Again, I'd like to give the metaphor that I'm a garbage man, that I collect trash. And when I mock you for being garbage, it's not personal. It's a self-mockery as well. Like, I didn't make it, and here I am having a conversation with a bunch of other people that didn't make it big enough. But I'm pretty sure that if we mock enough people and condition enough people, eventually we will achieve our objective of tremendous growth. And we can't describe the problem quick enough, because the fact of the matter is we have to grow. The universe must expand even more, to more worlds of possibilities, more worlds of potentialities. And you just heard Ambrose say that she can't communicate with me, because just like how gay men in the closet love to criticize gay men because they are gay, in that same way somehow, because I'm making fun of Ambrose and Buttercup, I want to be them. That's where I can't connect the two thoughts, because one of them is, you're actually gay, you want to suck a cock. The other one is, I'm making fun of you, and I don't want to be you. I just want to make fun of you and record you. Some people can't accept that possibility, that reality. But here we are, in the church of Buttercup. I would now like to transition this room to the Buttercup and Emrose musical portion of the final battle. I would like to dedicate.
As I say, so Lenny Bruce. You're familiar with Lenny Bruce, no?
Yeah, he was a profane, vulgar comic who was censored by the government.
He was a stand-up philosopher.
Well, I just want Buttercup and Emrose to know the perfect piece of intelligence and love. I can't really give it to them, but I can suggest it to them. And I really hope that they go to the gym, read a good book, play some music, and depoliticize from your rhetoric. Because your rhetoric, to me, is just noisy, obnoxious, immature, low IQ garbage. And I'm a garbage man. And I'm here to return a little garbage to you in the form of music. I'd like to dedicate this song to my favorite Rose, the Emrose. Here we go. The name of this song is Occupation, Genocide, Zionist. Checkpoint, checkpoint, checkpoint. Illegal checkpoint. Stop throwing stones at the cars on the highways. No need to kill people over land. That's illegal. Actually, it turns out that everybody should have just gone to law school instead of the Complaint University. At Complaint University, you don't actually get to practice law after drafting a bunch of complaints. You've got to actually read books and write and talk about law and test it. And then you get granted access to the bar. Not the bar of vodka and tequila, the bar of the law. And unfortunately, a lot of the professional complainers on Clubhouse never want to open up a law book to look at the actual statutes and legal definitions of what murder is. And they never want to talk about anything which causes security. They just want to bring up the unsafe act. It's racist. And we have to have humanity step in to end the racism from all the people committing all the crimes who are being locked up and released as soon as possible. Because it's racist. And it would be too safe and unsafe. We have to free all the criminals
What's going on? What's going on in here? What are we doing?
Oh, I was dedicating a song to my favorite M-Rose. Megatron, welcome back. All hail.
Oh, Rose?
Megatron.
Oh, she doesn't like me. I don't think she likes me very much, Rose. She's kind of feisty. So if that's what she really looks like in person, I mean, yeah, she just seems like a very assertive, powerful sort of woman.
Yeah, she's
and these women don't like me. These women like this just don't like me. Like, and I get it. I understand. Totally understand.
You're a powerful man, you know.
I'm really not. No, I'm a fucking pushover, man. My wife, like, I'm totally pushover, but my wife doesn't act like she wants to, like, my wife doesn't act like she has a cock. You understand? She doesn't walk around like she's got a 9-inch dick. You understand? And I think it's important for women not to do that. And Rose, I get that feeling from her that she thinks she's walking around with a 9-inch dick. And that's the only thing that kind of annoys me about some of these women. They I don't know, it's weird. They just want to go around, you know.
Why, I thought it was a 10-inch. Why do you think it was a 9-inch? I was anticipating.
Because she's white.
Well, you know, if you're white but you use a black and white photo, does that really mean you're white, or does that mean you're black and white? Hello?
Hello? My wife just got home, and I have to put the food away, and I have to clean the kitchen, so I gotta go. Bye.
You see, Emrose, Clown House can be a fun place. It doesn't have to be an occupation Zionist, you know, white structural racism. Everything is racism. Everything sucks. You know, see, Emrose, I come from the position of philosophy, which states that there's not a speck of dust out of place in the whole universe. Even yourself with your position. You're not
2 hours.
I'm gonna do it right now, babe.
2 hours passed.
2 hours passed. I'm gonna clean the kitchen right now, I promise. I got it. Girls, in the back, let's go. It's bathing time.
Hey, John Kitover.
Oh, hey, look who it is.
Let's go.
Have you freed Mangione yet? Have you seen the Mangione videos? They're about to kill that murderer. They're gonna murder the murderer.
What
Mangione, he took a hit for the team, didn't he, Maximilian?
I heard her.
Well, the thing about
I heard her
Mangione.
talking points the other day. Universe. I heard her talking points. Very powerful.
Powerful.
Well, it sounded powerful. I'm not sure how powerful it was, but it sounded like, you know, she was like coming with this, like, you know. I wasn't sure if she was a Muslim or a Jew. I was like confused. Was she a Mizrahi Jew? I don't know. Is she Jewish or is she Muslim?
Is her mother Jewish?
I don't know if her mother's Jewish. I wouldn't ask.
Well, Emrose doesn't follow the law. Emrose doesn't care about the law anyways. Emrose is a law breaker, not a law studier, not a student of the law. She's a politician. I think Emrose thinks she's going to get into the Knesset one day and make everybody annoyed. She's going to give a big speech at the Knesset, and everybody's going to go, "Ugh, can you turn that volume down? It's annoying. She's giving me a headache. This bitch fucking is annoying. Oh my God! I can't take her anymore! Can somebody please mute her mic? Jesus Christ, she's so fucking loud!" That's what you sound like to me, Emrose. Try to take like a Toastmasters speech, you know, thing where you can learn how to give a speech instead of like a public, you know, banshee screaming like. It's not. You know, if you want to sell what you've got to make it more enjoyable to listen to. And I'm a speaker consultant and a music consultant working in Nashville with musicians to help them learn the art of relaxation. And unfortunately, you have failed in your communication efforts to relax the audience. And I've told Narjans here multiple times before she does a little Gnostic poem and reads a little meditation to remind the people, I'm about to meditate with you. I'm going to relax you deeply. So let's take the deepest breath of the day. Yes, this is the roast of Ambrose. Buttercup in the church of Buttercup. My sweet little buttercup. My sweet little buttercup. Zionist occupation. All day, all night, they occupy with the light. Zionist, occupy. Why do they occupy illegal checkpoints and starve the people? Genocide, occupy. Ah, we just got shot at. Somebody just shot at us.
Add the flute quick.
You know, I've been reading stories about this supposed peace deal with the Hamas, and the Hamas violate the peace deal multiple times a day. Is that really fair, Ambrose? Why are the Hamas militants still taking shots at the newly constructed border wall? Why are Israeli soldiers still being killed by Hamasniks dedicated to an Islamic jihadist state for their people in the Gaza? We want disarmament and we want peace now. It's beautiful, Joanne. It reminds me
what it is?
Of a haberdasher. Yeah.
It's a skirt for the beach. It's a skirt. No, it's a skirt for the beach. Like,
oh, I see.
It hangs down on a V on your hip.
Looks like a fishnet.
Well, it looks like a shawl. It could be a shawl as well. I mean, I made all those stitches with my little finger.
Oh, you made that?
Yeah, I'm an expert quilter. I teach quilting. I teach quilting, crochet, and knitting.
Oh, wow. Dope. I've seen stories like that. I like that as a hobby for people, because that's a very Zen thing to do. And that's what Buttercup and Ambrose, that's what they don't do. They don't provide Zen moments of Zen. Ambrose, I hate to break the bad news.
Do they like Reiki?
No, they go up to hornets' nests and they kick them over and they call that.
Didn't Israel violate the ceasefire?
No, the Hamasniks did.
You're
welcome to the final battle.
Hey guys,
But,
I'm Hindu.
isn't it reported that?
You're a Hindu? Oh, you're going to represent India. Great. Welcome to the final battle.
What's
going on?
Isn't it confirmed that Israel violated it?
Maximilian, bro. Oh, you're Hindu? Great. Well, we confirmed that. Listen, everybody, this room is going to be an all-nighter, so you don't have to worry about getting your statements out and rushing them. You will not be kicked to the goo, and, you may be modded, and you can come here and complain about anything you want, because I'm a professional complaint gatherer. I go out on Clown House 100 hours a week and record people complaining. And we listen closely to the words that they use in their complaint so we can accurately take the complaint down for future recall and confirm the exactitude of that complaint. Now, the first part of a complaint is answering the who, then the what, then the why, then the where, then the when, and then the how. It's called the 5 W's and H. That's the basis of our complaint form. So don't forget the 5 W's on the H. And next time you complain, make sure you use all the 5 W's and the H. Otherwise, we may not be able to accurately record your complaint in total detail so we can try to rectify the complaint. So,
that's really surprising.
Universe, I put on my PTR, since ceasefire was announced on 11 October, Israel has reportedly committed at least 390 violations, killing 339 Palestinians, including more 270 children, injuring over 871 others. And it's like, I'm not against them, but like, I just think like you have to be honest in like conversations like this. Just like being fair. Like,
Okay, I'm gonna give you another 30 seconds, but this is your 30-second warning. So go ahead and land your plane, Maximilian. You got 30 seconds.
well, I wasn't gonna say much. I was just gonna say that, you know, I think in these conversations you do have to be fair, you know, because on both sides there are cases where they don't like might not play fair, or there's atrocities committed. So yeah, and just like, because like I'm not against like, you know, I'm just for like humanity, you know, like I'm on the side of humanity. So like I'm just, yeah.
Making your submission, that's your 30-second additional time allotment. Anybody else want to submit any complaints?
I just want to complain about how he talks. He talks like a child. He talks like he's a 12-year-old. My son sounds like he's like that was just that was, oh my god, dude. Like, how do you, like, does that work when you go on a date?
Megatron.
What's going on?
Well, yeah, I get pussy, so I guess it does.
Public speaking engagement here, and I have to agree. I think he does sound like a juvenile, young African American child.
Like a child. So wait.
I think he's still trying to work on his personal development, his invocation, you might say. But again, this is a young man totally brainwashed by the system, by liberal, leftist, woke Democrats like Ambrose and people like, you know, Buttercup. This man is a victim. He hasn't been brought up to become a strong, young, virile man. Instead, this man worships murderers like Mangione. He's actually, you know, infatuated with this murderer. That's the type of young man today that we have to be worried about, because they are completely lost. They have been made into a product of a leftist, liberal state based on lies, misinformation, and a complete desecration of the youth. So let's have more compassion and let's pass the barbecue sauce. Hello?
So y'all not gonna address my PTR, y'all just gonna talk about how I sound or whatever, okay?
We read it, we've contemplated it, and we're gonna respond to it with a little music. Here we go. I want to dedicate this song to all the martyrs, all the Israeli martyrs, all the soldiers that died, the young men that died fighting these terrorists, these pirates, these that refuse to disarm and become peaceful people. You know, Maximilian, you don't believe in Jesus, do you?
I do.
You believe in the Christ, the Lord, the Savior of mankind, who died for his fellow man instead of killing men, like the men that you support, like Mangione? I suggest you try to read a book. Go to the gym. It's the best advice I have for you to help cure your brain rot.
Mangione got acquitted of his federal charges, so he won't be facing
Bro,
the death penalty.
is the bottom of your tongue connected? Is the bottom of the tip of your tongue connected to the bottom of your tongue? Because you sound like it goes in like you ever see when kids get that when the tip of their tongue is stuck to the bottom of their mouth? That's what it sounds like. You sound like
English isn't my first
an 8-year-old.
language.
What's your first language?
Swahili.
Swahili?
French and Swahili.
Why are you lying? Why are you lying?
Being dead ass, but okay.
You're dead ass. You're from New York.
Yeah.
You ain't talking no Swahili. Dead ass in New York.
I'm New York as fuck, baby.
Yeah,
You got
you're
everything.
New
I'm
York.
hella New York. I'm hella New York.
Oh my god.
I'm hella New York. Like you got that right, but like, nah, I'm hella New York.
You must have a child. You're a hella toddler. But let's move on. Because this gets boring
But
after a while.
also, yeah, universe, I am Christian.
No, you're not. We'll figure it out though. You'll be alright though. Promise. Haley.
That's crazy though. Like I'm so New York, that ass.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to the final battle. This is the Armageddon. The apocalypse that you've been looking for. The final religious debate room of all religious debate rooms. So you can go on with your life and live your best life now. We've heard from some of the dumbest people on Clown House in this room today. I have taken your complaint and put it in the garbage. That garbage can is going to the dump with your complaint. And if you want to go back and watch a video of you complaining, that's like going back to the garbage dump to get the complaint that we gathered. And I want to thank you. We need your garbage. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a garbage business. And there would be no landfill to fill up with your complaints. And the sooner you realize that your complaints are just garbage, well then guess what? You can stop filling up the bins with all your trash. And if you want to recycle some of your trash so you can cut back on all your waste, that would be great too. Now just remember that your farts are actually more expensive than your belches, or what you say, which is actually just garbage. Because if you have a nice Persian kebab, and say it's $30, at a nice restaurant, well, your farts are far more valuable than your opinions, because you spent a lot of money eating that delicious food to fart it out. And a fart is just air passing over a turd. And you might say that your opinions are a lot like that too. They're garbage, but that's okay. We can collect your garbage for free. You don't have to pay a monthly fee or a tax to actually have your garbage removed. You can literally go on Wi-Fi and just complain, and we will take your submission for free. Remember though, we like it in a specific format. Who, what, where, when, why, how. So that being said, are there any fresh complaints?
Yes, John Kitover, who are you? Are you someone whose communication is nothing but projection?
Projection is communication, and all communication is projection, as well as political, and it's also spam, but it's also suggestion and condition. And there's a certain force behind some speakers. Some people have more force than others, and some people don't know where this force comes from. Some people don't know how to get this force to utilize for the sake of their communication. Now, as we are approaching 6 o'clock, it's important to note that this final battle will never end until you leave. It's not about ending the room. It's about when will you leave and no longer engage in this fruitless conquest of a road to victory that just doesn't exist for people. Because the law is eternal. And unfortunately, that law is a perimeter. And perimeters are a reality. Perimeters must be defended with the power of the law. Some people want to penetrate that law.
Love is the law.
Love is the law. Love under will.
Love under will.
What is the will? That's the question. We know that love is the law, but it's under the will, meaning it comes from above, and above is below. So we are the projection that we are seeking, or that we are interested in. And along the way, we're going to make fun of some people. And that's okay. You don't have to change who you are. We're not going to roast you on the spigot and cook you in a, in a big old barrel or something like it's the Middle Ages. No. We don't do that. We don't check to see if witches float anymore. But this is the final battle. Any other fresh complaints, Maximilian, Lee? Anybody in the audience want to make any final complaints? Because I think I'm going to go outside and ground myself. And put my feet on the soil, go for a power walk, drink some water, and disconnect from the internet for a little bit. But I'm going to leave you with some music. So if you want to make your final submission complaints, now's your 60 seconds. Hello? Hello? No? No more complaints? Okay. Okie dokie. I want to thank you guys for coming to Armageddon. The apocalypse. Final battle. The final battle.
Their feet on the circle, ashes soaked in rain. I breathe in thunder, exhale a silver stream. Eyes close to the chaos, palms lit with spinning glow. I call down the spirits from stars you used to know. This is my old words on my tongue, soft as falling snow. Your fears in the lantern, I watch them lose their hold. I trace you a doorway fresh and salt. I breathe in the thunder, exhale, see the stream. Eyes closed to the chaos, palms lit with steady glow. I call down stillness from stars you used to know. This is my meditation, crown of quiet fire. I turn every stone into stone. All the words on my tongue tick, soft as falling snow. Your fears in the lantern, I watch them lose their home. I trace you away, made of breath and light.
Read it. But had you believed Moses, you would have believed me. Uh-huh. For he wrote of me. Moses wrote of him. Moses wrote of him. Go ahead and read. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? But if you don't believe in Moses' writings, then you don't believe Jesus' words. You're taking credit for what Moses wrote as being his words. He said, search stuff. You couldn't search where he was talking right here, where it was written there right here in John the 5th chapter. How you gonna search that? It's like when he said this, it hadn't even been written down at that time yet. These books didn't exist. It didn't even exist when he said this. They wrote these books after Jesus died, you understand? And resurrected, you know what I'm saying? Then they wrote these books. They write the account of what they experienced with Jesus for 3.5 years. it's right. That's scripture. Paul, and remember, Paul is a real latecomer. He's the last apostle.
And he referred to himself as the least of the apostles.
Exactly. That's why he was least and last. But yet, he was the apostle to the Gentiles.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Read something. Amen. Can we go to brother Dennis? Can you go to James, the 4th chapter for me, brother?
Yes, sir. If you want to.
In secret, they lust after them, they crave them, but in public, they often pretend